Okay, we should be live here. Find my comments. Okay, just waiting on Bill to join us. This is the first live I've done on this channel, so I'm not sure if y'all know the link for it. I'm used to doing it on World Drone Community, but Bill will pop in here and they'll probably text him. Hey, Mike, how you doing? All right. Easy drone dude, drone ranger. All right. Just waiting for Bill to change his clothes here. Hey, Chris. Sunrise Water Media. Come here. My bird's got an attitude today. Yeah, exactly. Gets born during the day. The wife's working all day. I'm here alone. Come here. He's starting to get his feathers now, so he's getting bigger. If I just teach him to land on my shoulder instead of on the top of my head, he's getting better though. Yes, you are. Say my name is Money. Say money, money. My wife named him, by the way, not me. Is the audio and video seem clear through this, guys? Because like I said, this is like the first or second time I've ever tested it. And Bill, I sent you a link. Well, it looks like everybody's enjoying the 4th of July. It's the 5th here, the morning of the 5th. So, and they don't do anything here. Only thing they do here is like New Year's, which is expected, but they got a lot of holidays here. So every time I'm turning around, I try to make my plans through the week, depending on what my wife does. And sometimes she won't tell me she's off, and then I see her getting everything ready, and then after that she'll end up not working. Let me check my settings on the audio there. I wanted to switch over and get a better now I better keep the audio I've got. I'm wanting to switch over and get a different mic. Hey Charles, get a different mic for better sound, because I'll tell you one thing, man, Dobo's got really good microphone. I mean, if y'all seen this show, it is really deep, and I mean, not that either one of us have deep voices, but definitely want to get a better mic. And I've got a Logitech cam that I use, and I think it's okay. Yeah, my problem is when I get too close to the microphone, this thing is 49 inches. I'm having to look out because it's wide. Get away from there. Get away from there. Get away from there. Don't you bite me again. He's learning how hard he can bite. And bought this little thing. They put these little clips on their legs. It's like an earring around the leg. And I thought it wasn't. I was told in the U.S. it was identifier that they got it legally, you know, because you're not. There's some animals in America that you're not supposed to get unless they pass through and all that. And so they make these little clips that go on them, and you can attach it to his leg, and you can attach it to yourself or whatever. That way, if a door opens or you go somewhere, they can't fly off. Well, we took him to the pet shop and had the thing put on his leg, and they hooked this on there. And oh my God, trying to get this off, it's like the bottom of what they use, a leader or whatever, for a fishing hook to get it on there. He bit me on the arm. And when he bit me on the arm, oh my God, I thought he was going to take a chunk out of me. It was so hard. And I guess he thought I was trying to hurt him, but over, you know, playing with him enough and spending time with him, it's made it a little better. But it is, you know, it's pretty cool. Don't have to. I don't have to feed him as much. I was having to feed him with a syringe before, and he was eating a liquid food. And finally, he got old enough where he could start eating hard food like apples and carrots and stuff like that. So ever since then, he's done so much better. That let me grab something here. That way, if he makes a mess during the live stream, I can clean it up. Oh. So y'all might have a little noise in the background in the middle of 3D printing some more clocks on here. It's a process. It takes about 16 hours to print out. And just got some different filament that I'm using. The man's really light, really smooth. This might be one of the cleanest clocks that I've printed out so far, but I had sold a couple of the World Drone Community clocks. They're starting to sell, and I got some other ones on there that we're printing out, that we're shipping out. I just got off the phone with the box company that's making the boxes for the clocks. So it's a 12 by 12 box that it lays down in. It's about 3 inches tall. And it's got padding on the bottom and padding on the top. And then I keep the dials separate on the side where you put the dials on yourself. That way they don't get damaged. And then it's got an LED built in the back of it. So you just turn the LED on, and then it'll glow through on the other side. Yeah, I tried those out and they worked really good. And I found the company here that's not too far from where I'm at. So they send me they send them by the bag. So it's got the whole clock dial and everything in there. And I've been making my own dials and using props. But the problem is, it's like, because there's three dials on here, each dial has a bigger size hole. So when it comes out of the Clockworks, there's like one that's like 2 centimeter. The next one over is like 1.5. The next one's 1. But they're so close together that you've got to put them on. It's hard to make a prop and have that angle, because if it's too thick, they touch each other and it's not working. So I'm having to actually like get the shape of it printed out where you can tell it's a prop, and then stop the printer and pull it off from there. It's the only way I can keep them thin enough from not hitting each other. But a couple of people just said, they're okay with just the regular dials. So we're sending some regular dials out. So the chips will start arriving to y'all's homes next week for the little drones, the clocks, and then I've also got, what have I got? I got some clocks, some indie filters, and some other things coming to you, Michael, at Fly Zone. Maddie, I've got some drones coming your way also. So for everybody that ordered, they'll get there. I've had to fill up a box because it costs like $200, $220 for me to ship a 5 kilogram box or kilo box. So I needed to fill it up. So they're already in the U.S. going through customs now. So I actually ship them to one of those Postnet shipping companies. And I've got a friend over in Nashville that owns one. So he gets them and opens them up. And then when he opens them up, all the stuff they're all packed in these. So they're all pre-done and pre-programmed. And these are folded in half. And then with that, they just put them in the mail to you, which should be, all of y'all should be like 3 days. Canada might be 4. I'm not really sure on that. So charging, yeah, Maddie charging his batteries. Yeah, I wish I could have been home this year. I wanted to know what Al was doing. I didn't bother him. I know his wife's got COVID, and I think she's already had her shot. So I haven't talked to Al. So I don't know if he's got it now or what. But usually when we're there before, we'll go down to the baseball diamond. This year, I'm sure we'd have gone downtown, but we'll have to wait and see. Hey, chill out, chill out. I don't let this bird out that much, guys. That's one of the reasons I've got him over here now, not just trying to show you the bird. I hate leaving him in the cage. He's kind of outgrown the little cage that he's in, and I need to get him a bigger cage. But I don't drive that much around here. I drive my motorcycle like on the back roads, but to get out on the interstate towards the malls where the big pet stores are, I'm going to have to wait until this weekend. We're going to go and get him a big cage where he's got more space, because he's even chewed the wooden perch that he stands on. He's gone through 2 of them already, and I told her we're not buying any more. We're going to go buy a big cage and put in it. So Bill had to go drive to the liquor store. Now, trust me, Bill probably has the liquor right beside his computer, and he's got my link, so I know he's not sitting there waiting at World Drone Community for this, because I told him I was going to come over and do it on this channel. So what's everybody doing tonight? Are y'all all in? Let's see. It's 9:21 here. So, I mean, is everybody like on clockwork? Are they having their shows like before midnight, or do they have them at midnight? What's going on where you're at? Let me know. No, yeah, I know what you're doing. Bill said I'll be in a few. Shit, he gonna have him a drink or 2 before he starts. You better come on. You know, I'll tell you, Chris, it said right here, I nearly missed, been near several people recently who got COVID. It's going around. Before I left to come here, about 2 months before, I had a tooth pull that was in the back that was broken. It was one of my molars in the very back, and it was broken. And when it broke, the inside part, well, actually the outside part, when it broke, it wasn't very deep. And I was like, you know, hell, I can just pull this thing out. And I know you'll laugh, but I reached in with a pair of pliers and pulled the little piece off. And I thought, that's great. But then the inside piece that was deep in my root, it was tilt a lot. So every time I'd bite down or something, it would tilt. And I just did that, you know, before I could go to the dentist. And so I went to the dentist, and the guy told me, you know, you need to go over and have this man pull your tooth and all this. And he looked and goes, I think I can handle it. Well, this guy was like, he had to have been in his 80s. And so he decides he's going to pull it himself. And he pulled it. Let me tell you, when he pulled that thing, I could feel my jawbone here cracking. I could hear it. And when he went into my mouth the first time, he went for one of my front bottom teeth that was doing something. And the nurse asked him, Doc, what are you doing? I'm pulling his tooth. And she goes, this is the wrong client. He didn't have any problem with his teeth. It's just pull the molar out. So he goes, oh, yeah, I remember now. I'm like, shit. So he pulled the molar out, and it was so, it was the most painful thing I've gone through, because, and I could tell by looking at the nurse that he was taking too long and wasn't doing something right. And I'd almost wish that I'd gone to a doctor that just, you know, extracts a tooth, but they pulled it out. And when they actually pulled it out and got it out of my mouth, they gave me some medicine with codeine or something, and I don't remember what it was. But when I went to the dentist, I noticed they only gave me like 4 or 5 pills. They didn't give me like a bottle of them. So I took them home and took the pill. And dude, I was feeling right. Didn't feel anything. It was great. I was like, man, all I got to do is stay on these pills until the pain goes away. So after I took those 4 or 5 pills, I went back to the pharmacist, and the guy said, you're not getting any more of these. I was like, well, I've got a prescription. He's like, these are addictive. So he took me off of them, and they gave me some really, really long, I mean, some different medicine. It was some kind of real strong Tylenol or something that they had. So I took it, and it kind of made me sick. So I started getting worse. And then when I would stand up, my balance was off. And I told my brother, I said, man, something's wrong. I said, because when I'm standing up, my legs are fighting to keep me up. I'm trying to fall over. My balance was like, my balance was terrible. And I didn't realize what it was. So finally, I was starting to get really sick. And I told my brother, hey, I don't want you to get sick. I'm going to check in to a hotel until I get better. So, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly, Charles, what they had me on. So I went over to the hotel and I was like, you know what? I'm like sick or something. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't know if I can pull out of this. I might have to go to the emergency room. So I stayed in the hotel for 4 or 5 days, and I kept going down and getting, food from the little food place they've got in there that they microwave, and you take it back up to the room. I didn't think anything about it, and I got better. And then I was like, okay, and I thought it was all related to my tooth and the drug and all that I took. And then when I got here to Thailand, one day, actually the day that I got here, my wife called me and she was crying and I'm like, what's wrong? And she goes, I can't come pick you up. I'm like, what do you mean? It's been 20 months. You got to pick me up. I'm waiting. I'm here at the Hilton. You got to come get me. And she said, there's a problem. And I'm like, what? And she goes, I just tested positive for COVID. I'm like, okay. So I've been away from her for 20 months and now I'm not going to be able to get near her until this passes. So she picked me up. She's wearing double mask. I'm in the back of the car, the back seat. She drives me home. And then the next thing I know, her sister had just had a baby and was in the hospital. So the husband and the wife are in the hospital. The mother-in-law, the sister's kids, everybody comes down with COVID. Everybody. So everybody got it. So here it's different, man, because it's like as soon as she got it, she went to the hospital to get some kind of medication they give out over here for people when they first get it. And I don't know if it's to make it easier or what's going on. It's like a jungle in here. But anyway, she got her medicine and came home. As soon as she did, an ambulance showed up. And the ambulance pulled out these 2 boxes, and it looked like the guys from Ghostbusters. They came in and they fumigated the house. They fumigated the mother's house. So finally, everybody was so sick. I was like, look, we just got this new house. We got the keys. We've not moved in. Y'all just go there and I'll stay here. I never got it. And I was around everybody. And then I realized, you know what? I've had it before. I've had it before. So it didn't affect me, but it affected them. They were all sick for like 2 days. And then after that, it was just a period of getting better where they could pass with the test. But man, the government came and put a sign on the door and said, you're not allowed to be out. If you get caught being out, it's expensive. It's several $1,000 fine that they charge you for it. And I told her, I was like, Omega, come on. How are they going to catch you leaving this house? And she said, Robbie, we live in a private area. And I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, have you not noticed that on every road we have here, there's 3 cameras? And I looked up and there's probably 100 cameras in my neighborhood. So there's like literally, I can't go 1 block without being on camera. So anyway, they had to all stay home. So guess who was the Panda Express delivery boy on the scooter? Me. I was going in and out trying to order food for everybody. Nobody in this freaking area speaks English. So I was having to call her on FaceTime or on the cell phone and point it at the people here so they could make her food. And let me tell you one thing, it gets annoying. You go out and get all the food. Oh, you forgot to put this on the sandwich, or you're missing this. And I finally told them, like, look, y'all can figure out another way or do an order in or whatever they send, because it's just too damn complicated. So after about 10 days of that, so we went through 1 whole month. It took for everybody to clear up. And I was so freaking happy that was done. That, wow, it was just, it was a mess. Hey, Jim. Jim, I'm printing your last clock right now, actually, right here. So in about 5 hours, it'll switch over automatically to the blue, and put the rest in it, and then I'll throw it in the box and get it shipped out on Thursday. I think that's one of the things I miss most about the Force. So many people have parties and get-togethers and all the good food and everything else. It's funny too, because when you're young and you go to the parties, it's all beer. And after you pass like 35 or 40 years old, you want to go to the parties because all these people have women that cook and it's good food. And I miss that. I miss hanging out with my friends and, seeing a table with everything you want on it. Holidays can be a little hard on me here, where I'm not near my brothers and my sisters and my mom. But hey, it's a wash. It's what you have to do today. Okay, I think we might have a visitor here. Hey, hey. All right. Hey, this is our the first live stream I really had on this channel, and you are the first co-host for the channel.
You haven't had any. You've had live streams.
Not on this one. Not on this one. I only have one thing to say. Almighty.
Hey, matey, it's matey, but that's okay. How you doing there, matey? Thanks for stopping into my live stream there earlier. Hello to everybody in the chat. Got all the regular criminals are here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jim and Charles and Chris and Jim, Charles and Chris and Jim and Charles. God, you guys talk a lot. Let me skip past that. And Mike B and Chris and Mike. I love America too, brother. That's right. And anybody else I missed. Anyway, how you doing, guys? Welcome in. So this is the first one on this particular channel.
Yeah, I've never done a live stream on this channel at all, on my personal channel. And not that I wouldn't do it on World Drone Community, but I would always definitely have to work it out with Al first, since he's my co-host. But his wife has COVID, and I don't know, Al may have it. I haven't heard from him in a couple of days, so I'm not really sure. But I know that Julie was sick, so y'all keep her in your prayers. Let me tell you one thing.
Sorry to hear that.
She'll get wings for being married to Al, but I'm telling you, she's the best cook I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've eaten some good food. The woman just, I don't know. I asked her if she went to cooking school. She said no, she just knows.
I figured something else out too. I was getting a little lagginess in my my little live stream there with the Prism, and I know what it is too. It's because it's trying to transmit through Prism from my phone, and I was on my Wi-Fi from the house. Okay. Being that far out into the driveway with the cars, I was stepping by in the cars, stepping around the corner, and I think that had something to do with it. I don't really think it was the transmission from the drone to the controller, but I don't know. That might have had something to do with it. I should have turned the Wi-Fi off.
I'd like to try to learn to stream from my smart controller. I'm always afraid on my smart controller. Like if I get my Mavic 3 up and I go into the settings or something, I'm afraid that it'll like go into return to home or something. Because here the issue is a lot of places that I take off from, I got cables above me or something that I have to go up and fly out. And return to home is going to come straight down on those cables. So I always panic about losing connection on the smart controller.
Well, I mean, if return to home, if you need it, as long as it gets you to the vicinity so that you can see where your drone is, you could just.
Well, that's what my issue is making sure that the remote connects fast enough and catches it before it comes, because I don't fly that far out. So if I lost connection, it would be waterline coming down before it would reboot. But I put Facebook Live on the controller, and then I take it and connect it to my cell phone for the Wi-Fi connection. I'm going to test it, but I'm going to plug the Air 2S in. I'm not going to do it with the Mavic 3.
I try not to use return to home if at all possible, and if it kicks in, I just let it bring it home. I don't care. But I mean, it's always a good reminder that I'm running myself out of batteries. So there is that. So I like it for that. But no, I mean, as long as you use that little radar thingy, app in the bottom left, doesn't matter. Just fly to the blue dot.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to hear it long before you can see it. At least that's with my eyes. At night, that's what's funny. They talk about flying at night and this and that. I tell you, with that light flashing on the top of the drone, I could see it much further away at night than I can during the day.
But tell me this: what is the difference now? Do you put it on top of your drone?
Mm-hmm.
How's it look when you're going away from you?
You could see it.
Can
I
you?
mean,
Me and Al put it on my Air 2
on the
before I had my
bottom.
Air 2S,
Uh,
and we went on a freaking boat dock, and you know how boat docks are where they've got the lights.
right.
Dude, we walked through 20 million mosquitoes to get to the end. So we go up, and when we went up, when it was going away because the drone was tilting, I couldn't see the damn light. And then once we turned around and it came back and it tilted, we did. But I was like, Al, where did the drone go? I didn't know where the drone was.
Hmm. Well, I mean, when it's, I mean, if you're not in sport mode, I mean, if you're not
Right.
really, if it's just level and it's hovering there, I could see it. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
because you could actually see it reflecting off the top of the. I put it
And
kind of
what
close.
light do you use? Do you use that cube? I remember when the first one came out, they called it the cube. Man, it
Yeah.
was like $40 or $45. And I found another company here that I bought one from. It looked identical. And I think it was like $6.
Yeah.
It was really inexpensive.
Well, the one I got the Ulanzi.
Uh-huh.
I forget the model now. It's because it's supposedly it's a Ulanzi, and it's supposedly only 6 grams. And I got it so I could use it on the Mini 2. But I put the Velcro on both drones, and I just do the one at the top. I tell you the
Yeah.
truth, you can even see you can even see the leg strobes pretty far away. The reds and the greens.
Yeah.
And a dark night
Well,
like tonight, you know.
I'm going to buy some extra ones. I actually gave it to my wife's nephew. He works for the border police, and they just started using drones because they've got some political stuff going on with Myanmar, which is the country beside Thailand. That's where rubies come from. So it's like you can go over there and go to the jewelry stores and get rubies for like it's like plywood. I mean, it's nothing like it is buying from the other countries.
This light was less than $20.
Bob Casey
And
says he uses landing legs, and he has one on the front arm. And I'll tell you on the landing legs, some of the drones people should use those for because if you've got, for instance, the difference between I think the Air 2 and the Air 2S, because of the camera size is a little bit bigger, you got to be careful where you lay that on the ground. Because if you're not on a really flat surface and you're in
yeah,
any area that's got a little bit of motion,
yeah,
you will hit that.
yeah, yeah. Well, you fly from your driveway; it's nice and flat, which is what I
Yeah.
did tonight. I used the landing pad anyway, just for shiznits and giggles. Yeah, this is it. Ulanzi DR2 anti-collision light, $16. With shipping was
It's the
like
same. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing that I had. Just doesn't have the logo on it.
21
And
bucks.
matter of fact, it might have been the same thing. I wish I wanted to keep it because I
Probably
wanted to order another one.
nice and bright. I put it on top.
Bill, what happened to you, buddy? Come back to us. There you are.
Yeah,
All right, you're back.
I closed the wrong window.
I'm going to. I am going to do a live stream on this channel soon, probably in the next week or so, and I'm going to bring in Scotty McPherson, and he's the one that owns Scotty Makes Stuff over in Australia,
Mhm.
and he's the one that makes those sticks that I'm always talking about. They make a lot of products, and it'll be cool because he can get all the products his company's made in front of us and show us what's there, because some of the stuff is like I can see a picture of it. Like he has one for the pocket, and it looks like something out of Mr. Gadget. You lock it in, you hit a button, and it comes out. I want to see how some of this stuff works that he's got. So he's got a warehouse now in the U.S. that has the products, so you don't have to wait a month to get your products when you order them.
Right.
So I'm happy. I'm waiting on him to respond to me and let me know. I'm gonna put him on World Drone, but I'm gonna do him on my channel first because I need to kind of get some people over in my channel.
Yeah, the DRO2. That's the strobe light I got, Jim. I see. The guys are still talking about the different lights. Bob Casey, Firehouse lights. A lot of people say that they're the best. The only reason I went with this one was because of the weight. I have those motor caps on my drone, which adds about 6 grams to the weight of the Mini 2. My Mini 2 is a light one. So I'm actually able to add that. Well, here's what happens. It's supposed to be 6 grams. The light by itself is 6 grams. Then when you put the Velcro on it, it put me over by half a gram. So what I did was I just cut the Velcro in half, and I just, because you don't need as much. I did, a little, and it just barely under 250 with that light on there. But the funny thing is I took the Velcro off anyway. I don't even use the Mini 2 at night. If I'm going to fly at night, I'll use the Air 2S. So that's why it's on there. But those lights, they work fine. They work fine.
Is it multicolored? Is yours multicolored?
Huh?
Is yours multicolor where it's got different colored caps on that?
No, it's got different. I don't know. I forget now.
I think it came with it. I'd gotten one time that was a triangle shape, and it came with, you could pop the cap off, the green to the blue to the red and the clear.
I think mine's just, let me see, 3. There it is. 6 lighting effects, 3 color lights. Oh yeah, it's got color. I don't even know. I didn't even realize it. I don't use it. Lights, red, green, green, and white. Visible from 3 ant miles away, whatever that means. Somebody who doesn't speak English wrote this. Use transparent shell, strong penetration. Strong penetrations, clearly visible even at a distance of 3 kilometers. Make up your mind.
I'm working on changing my auxiliary light up under the drone.
Lightweight, only 6.5 grams, right? And like I said, and then the Velcro put it up over 7. But I was able to get it down to the right weight, and it worked for me. Yeah, it's multicolors. Yes, Manny, thank you. I can go get it and show it to you.
Yeah, he got a red and a white.
Yeah, I have red and white on that drone ray. I don't need it.
On the bottom on the auxiliary light on the Air 2S, I'm making an alteration to mine.
What are you doing?
Actually, I'm making a lens that goes over the bottom of the light,
and it turns it into a laser beam.
No, it shoots down, and it's got the Batman logo.
The bat signal.
I saw one on the 3D printing site a guy made. It velcros to the bottom of the drone there, like where the heat sink is. And when he turned it on and came down, it was a big Batman emblem.
That's pretty cool. You should do a World Drone Community symbol.
It's too much.
That's pretty cool. It's not quite as cool as laser beams, but it's cool.
Yeah. Exactly. What was that in Austin Powers? I went laser beams on the sharks.
That's an idea, though. Maybe you can make lenses that have the people's logos show up.
When I made this, first it was only attached here on the top of my head. All this was loose, so it would wiggle. So I had to redo it where it would go here and there. That's all that holds that whole lamp. So there's some flexibility there, especially when there's a bird on top. He wants to steal some video time here. You got to go. But on the World Drone Community clocks, it was like the whole record. I mean, it's stiff. It's better.
Your bird is a real ham.
I never let him I don't let him out of the cage that much, especially when I'm not working or I'm in my room watching Netflix, because I have an air conditioner going.
Yeah.
And he's still young, doesn't have all his feathers. I don't want him to get sick. So he stays in the kitchen, and the kitchen probably stays 80 degrees or hotter.
But I'm just saying, he's really affectionate towards you. I mean, he just wants your attention.
Well, that's because I feed him. We have to, he gets fed at 7 in the morning every morning. He gets fed at 12 to 1 o'clock every day. And then he gets dinner at 7:30. So he's on clockwork. But before, we had to feed him with a syringe, like a protein drink, to get his weight up. And now he's just starting to realize that the damn apples are better. I don't want this. I want the apples. So now it's better because I'm cutting up fresh fruit and stuff like that each morning and putting it in the cage with him. And that's it. But now he's too big for the cage. So I had a lot of second thoughts whether I was going to buy an animal, because I don't feel like something should be trapped in. When I see people that have snakes and stuff like that, I just don't think some stuff should be pets. And we went to the pet store, dude. When I went by one of the pet stores and there was raccoons in there, And what else was in there? There was goats, which
Raccoon.
I don't know. I guess you could have a goat. What else was in there? Dude, there was like a damn possum in there. I mean, there was stuff in there that would bite you, and I was like, why the hell do they sell these as pets? But they had so many birds. And then the first lady that we
A
went to that had these
possum?
birds,
You sure this
um,
wasn't like an open, like a market where you know, because you can make pie out
it,
of that.
it,
I mean,
was, it wasn't for food.
possums will bite the shit out of you.
Yeah, it wasn't for food. It was real pets. But have y'all seen those little white flying? They look like flying squirrels. They show them all over where you hold your hand out and they fly to you. They're little. They were freaking everywhere. And some of that stuff I just feel like shouldn't be pets. But when I told her, she said, "Well, why don't you get a
Yeah.
bird? That way I'm gone all day. It'll give you, you know, somebody you can teach them to talk." And it's because it does. It gets boring being in the house all day long through the week. So we got the bird, but the first lady, when we looked, the birds were in these old cages that looked like crab cages out of the ocean. They were terrible. Her place was dirty. And, the lady's like, "But I had the best price." It's like, I looked around, I told my wife, I was like, "Yeah, but this bird could be sick." So we went to another shop and saw what she had. Everything was neat. She was telling us how to feed it and everything else. And then when we ran out of food, we went to the pet shop, and the lady at the pet shop said, "We don't have this food. You got to special order it from the city." I'm like, "Why?" And she said, "Because this is expensive food." Well, the lady that sold us the bird, she uses expensive food. So that told me that she knew what she was doing. Hold on, guys. I got something going on out here. I hear a car door or something.
Cheese it, it's the cops. You know, you got Charles Galushki. You're always strapping something to your mini, too. It didn't sound right. You knew exactly what you sounded like when you said that. You have a pigeon in your house? Really, Jim? That's awesome. What is that? It's probably his bird shitting in the microphone.
Okay. I don't know who it is.
Oh, the bird's screeching by the mic. The bird's talking into the microphone, I think.
Yeah, I get too far away and he'll yell. So yeah, we live. Our subdivision goes straight down, and there's roads that connect off of it that are like, I don't know, 10, 15 houses deep, and we're at the very end. So when we got here, they had built a big awning, like the last 30 foot of the road. They have a huge awning over, and it's connected to the house across from us in this house. Well, the house across from us we own, and her mother lives in it. So we bought the house across, so we have all that parking area. Therefore, instead of using my parking I have here, we're going to enclose it into a bigger living room. We don't need it because we have all the parking outside. So what else is going on here?
I don't know. We're just
Jim said he's got a pigeon. He only goes in the cage at night. Let him fly outside. Well, we went to a friend's recently when we had to go close on one of the houses that we sold, and she said, "I've got a bird just like yours." And she doesn't watch this stream, so I'll say this: it's funny. If I had a Cadillac, she's got a better Cadillac. If I've got something that's 4 inches, hers is 5. So when she found out that
I've
we had a
used that
bird,
line before. God, I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So when I told her we had this bird, oh, I have one too. I've had it for 3 years. So we went to her house and went somewhere, and she's like, "I'll keep your bird beside mine." And I looked around the house, and Jim, she let her bird fly, and guess what? On top of the laptop, guess what? There was bird shit on the table. The whole house was covered in bird shit. So I don't go for that. I'm not, my wife, and I don't know if you experience this, Bill. You have a problem wearing shoes in your house with your wife or no?
We don't wear shoes in our house.
And what happens when you do?
I get told to take them the fuck off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, my wife has got all these little slippers. You remember how our moms used to wear when we were young, those ugly ones? So my wife's got like 4 pair running around the house that she uses. And so
I mean,
bought,
it's not an issue. I've gotten so used to not wearing shoes in the house, I don't even think about it. Now she
well,
doesn't
the problem that
my wife doesn't make guests do that. She
yeah.
like my dad comes over and he gets to wear what, but you can see it bothers her. Like she'll watch where his
I
Just
mean,
in
I'll
her
come
mind, she's
in.
like, I gotta get the broom. I gotta get the broom.
Exactly. My wife's the same way. And finally, I just told her, it's like, I didn't understand when I got here why everybody wore sandals and stuff like that. And then she's like, okay, let's go out for the day. So we go to a restaurant, and in front of the restaurant, I notice nobody has any shoes on. So they go in. Where am I? I'm outside sitting down taking my damn shoes off. I go in, we get ready to leave. They're already at the car. Guess what? I'm outside putting my shoes back on.
Yeah.
So the crap gets old. So I switched some of my shoes that are slipper tight. They're still shoes, but they're slipper tight.
Right.
So I bought some of those beach shoes, those ones you pull over that you can walk in the water with. And I leave them at the front door and I put them on. And she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "These are my new house slippers." And she goes, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "That's perfect." So we got ready to go somewhere, and I had them on when I was in the car. And she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "They're house slippers." And she's like, "Well, you can't wear them." I said, "Don't worry, they won't get torqued." She goes, "You can't wear them in the house now because you wore them outside." I
Right.
can't win. I can't win.
No, she's right though. I mean, if they're house slippers, they stay in the house. If they're
Now, I'll
you know,
say that she's fanatic about keeping the house clean. And she told me last week, she goes, "I hope you don't think I'm lazy." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Because we've got clothes and paperwork laying around and everything else." I was like, "Well, honey, you get up at 5 in the morning and you don't get home from until 6 at night, and then we go eat. And then you got to help the kid with the homework. You don't have a lot of time to clean. I'm on the computer all day. It's hard." And I said, "When we start the construction of this house, it's going to get worse. So don't panic, and it will get worse."
yeah, no, she's constantly sweeping and keeping it clean, and that's why the dogs aren't allowed to run around the house typically, unless she lets them free, and it's like a treat for them. They have a section that they're allowed to get to, and well, I mean, they have the garage, they have the backyard, and they have air conditioned section right by the back door that they can't get past the gate, and that's how they've lived their whole life, and they seem happy. But
Yeah,
when they're allowed to go in the actual house proper, they're so excited. It's like a big treat for them.
yeah,
But that's the only compromise here when it comes to that. But as far as shoes are concerned, every so often I'll forget something and have to go back in the house, and it bothers me that I actually have to, because I'm not going to take them off again. But all my shoes are the only thing with laces are my boots, for the bike, because I wear boots when I ride the bike, and my dress shoes, which I almost never
yeah.
wear. So
I
everything
wanted
else,
to do some.
something else I could slip on.
I wanted to do some work on my bike, but I'm not sure exactly how. I like doing some of the stuff myself, and I don't have some of the tools. But
What do
at
you have?
first I wanted to put on what is the back part on the back of the seat so you don't fall off for the passenger. What do they call that?
You mean like a
It's
sissy
like
bar?
yeah, it's like a sissy bar tie. I wanted to put one of those on because when me and her ride sometimes,
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have her behind it. Plus, I can strap my drone bag on there and it won't get past the sissy bar. So
Yeah. Well,
that's one thing.
that's easy to do. They got chromed out kits ready to go for that. I actually had put one of those on my what did I have? My Suzuki, and it
Yeah.
was basically, I mean, it was a pain lining it all up and getting it back together. It was basically 4 bolts, and once you get the bracket in place, then you put that. I mean, that's easy. Obviously, you can do that. There's
Yeah.
nothing to
Well,
that.
it's funny because the back of the bike, when I look at the customized Honda Rebels, a lot of them have the driver's seat and then there's nothing else there. And I started looking, everything unscrews where you can have one seat or have the two seats.
Right.
So, I need a two because sometimes she'll go with me somewhere and we'll go. And then I wanted to hook up a USB for my phone and
Right.
get a different holder to hold the phone. But I'm
Right.
not sure if I know how to wire that right. And I know that sounds bad because I am an engineer.
Well, I mean, you don't have speakers on that, so you just want power, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would love somewhere to have a little speaker because when I listen to music, I got to be going really slow to be able to hear it. You understand the
You know
cell
that
phone.
that big old that bike that you just saw in the garage at '07.
Yep.
You know what it's got, right? It's got a cigarette lighter.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Hey, but you got power. That's the main thing.
of course, it was real easy. The cigarette lighter's gone. Boom! I got 2 USB ports right there. But no, they sell all kinds of kits for that. There's nothing to it. You just gotta pick a line, pick a 12-volt line, and hook it up to that.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna buy the stuff
Actually,
from
you
Lazada,
only you only need
which is
five
like
volts. But
Amazon.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, what?
I'm just gonna buy the stuff from Lazada. It's like Amazon here. And
Yeah,
then there's a guy that's got a motorcycle shop up the road here.
yeah.
And I think I'm just going to drop off all the stuff and just tell him because he put in the bars, the crash bars on the bike. And you need those here because the people, man, it's just like, oof, too many bikes. Too many bikes.
I like doing stuff like that. I used to wrench on the Suzuki more than the Harley, but I've done some stuff with the Harley too. Of course,
I,
I put a different seat on it. I have a backrest on it. Again, no big deal. But
they make a seat like this. That's the front seat. It comes up, and then it's the back seat. It's one piece.
right,
Because
that's
right
right.
now I've got my seat. There's a like a roll cage bar there, and then there's her seat. There's a little gap. I'd
She's
like
got
to
a
change that.
called a pillion. She's got a pillion
Yeah.
seat.
So I wanted to do that, and then I really wanted to take off the Honda gas tank that's on it, that's gray, and have it painted. I wanted to put an American flag or something on it.
Is there anything in that thing like the fuel gauge or did you? I mean, your
I
fuel.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either.
Well, I mean, my I've had my tank off because I had to replace. I had a I had a problem, and it's kind of common where the fuel line rubs against the shape of the one of the corners on the inside of the tank, and it actually developed a hole, so I wasn't getting proper fuel pressure. And the fuel pumps in there, the fuel filters in there. I mean, when you put a new fuel pump in, or just a new fuel filter, you actually have to take the cowling. There's a piece that comes off. It's like this
Yeah.
big, with about 10 or 12 screws all the way around, that you throw away supposedly because they actually have uh, bushings on them that you're only supposed to use once. And it's
Yeah.
but I mean, I bought them. It's not like they're expensive, but I've been inside there. Changing the tank out could be a pain in the ass, But I had that
Mhm.
off, and I fixed that fuel line. And while I was in there, I replaced the basket and blah, 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 blah. But
I don't know anything
the fuel
about the
filter.
bike.
I didn't need a new fuel filter. That bike's it's '07, but it's got less than 19,000. It's got 18,000 miles on it, I think.
My bank, this is the same exact gray that's in my tank. That's why I got this particular helmet.
Right.
But I wanted to change it and do like an American flag, and I wanted my brake calipers to match and be red and stuff like that because they're black
Why
now.
would you change the tank itself? Why don't you just have it custom painted?
That's the issue. I will have to because I can't buy the tank the way I want it. I don't want a sticker. I want a paint job. But
Right.
I've got somebody to paint it. But then I said something to my wife, and she's like, "That's the first gift I bought you. You're gonna take it apart and tear it up and make it not look good." And I'm like, "Well, no, honey. I think it'll look good when I get done." But she's like, "But that's the first thing that I bought you. Why don't you just buy another motorcycle and do it to that?" I was like, God, you blessed me so good. So I told her, I was like, I might do that. And she goes, well, we can go by the Honda place. And I said, well, they've got this other one called the Harley that's a little bit lower, farther down. And she's like, yeah, but I think there's a little price difference between the Honda and the Harley. I'm like, yeah, maybe a little bit.
Little bit. Did they have victory bikes over there?
They have what?
Victory bikes.
I didn't see the Victory. So far, I've seen a couple Harley stores that are here.
How about
and then
Indian?
I've seen Indian. I've seen an Indian.
Well, Victory's actually gone. I think they're gone already. But the Indian bikes are nice. They're just as high as Harleys, though. They're just as expensive. They're probably even more expensive over there. But what do you got? A Yamaha?
Yeah, this is a Honda,
A Honda.
Rebel 500.
Right.
And I think I bought it used. It had 1,000 miles on it. The owner bought it and sold it. It was in his collection that he had.
Mm-hmm.
And I paid, what did I pay for it? I paid $2,500 for it. It doesn't have a scratch on it. It didn't have a scratch on it. It's got a little scratch on it.
No, it's a fantastic deal. That Suzuki I was an 04 and I paid $3,000 for that. And it was only an 800,
Yeah.
It had a stage it had a stage 1 on it. Stage 1 was it stage 1 or stage 2?
Well, I thought I had problems with it.
Stage 1, and somebody put some straight Cobra pipes on it, which they're cheap, but they're okay. And it moved okay, And I play with that quite a bit though. I put a new sprocket on it to change the ratio on it because I'm a heavier guy to give myself better low end torque. I did a bunch of stuff with that. I played with it. It was great. And then my father decided that I should have a Harley. So he calls me up. It's my stepfather, my dad. He goes, Dennis, that's his best friend. He goes, he had his brother's John's bike. John passed away. He says, it's got 4,700 miles on it. I think it's got less than 5,000 miles on it. I was like, yeah, Dad, can't even imagine what this thing's going to cost. He's talking about a full dresser, the bike I have now. And this was 7-8 years ago. So the bike, I was looking online, and the thing was 20 something new, and right now it's people were selling for 15 at the time. I said, "Yeah, Dad, I'm not getting that. I still pay. I put the other one on a credit card. It's Discover card. Had a local guy up here. I'm still paying $3,300. I'm still paying it off." He goes, "Yeah, but you need a real bike." I know what he paid for this because the person he bought it from was a guy that always wanted a Harley. The widow said had it for 2 weeks and passed away. So the bike
Oh
was
man.
yeah. So it's just like the death bike. So anyways, he got it like brand new, and it just sat there. So I know what he paid for it. Da, 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 da. John had it for a few years. Hardly rode it because he wasn't a well guy. And I'm going to offer him 8,000 for it. I said, "Well, okay, Dad. Now, I just barely got the other one past the wife. Not that she tells me what I can and can't buy.
See you, Jim. Thanks
But
for stopping by.
I hate disappointing her. Good night, Jim. Get out of here." So anyway, he tells me I'll make him an offer. I'll let. And it's now this is Tuesday. At the time, I only had Tuesdays off, and one day off a week at the other job. And I figured, well, this gives me a whole week to let my wife tell me no. So I just come back to Dad and say, no, that's all I need is to owe more money. And he calls. So anyway, I said, "Oh, Dad, yeah, we'll talk about it. Can't do anything today. It's Tuesday. I won't be able to answer you until next Tuesday." Calls me 2 hours later. "All right, we're in the deal." "What do you mean?" Goes, "I wrote him a check for $8,000. He took the money. He said his friend was offering him 10, but because it was you, and I believe this because the guy, he loves us. Dennis loves me and my wife, especially my wife. Everybody loves my wife. Anyway, he goes because he said he was going to sell it. He sold it to you for $8,000 now, which was fabulous. The bike's still worth $8,000. So that was a really, really good deal 70 years ago. And I was like, "Oh shit!" He goes, "Don't worry about it. You just pay me back. No interest. Just pay me back." It's like, great. All right. Still got this other bike I'm paying for, but that's how I ended up with the bike. And I sold my Suzuki to somebody who hated it. And
I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I can get on it and it gives me a little bit of my time. I don't like taking that on the main road because I'm not a licensed motorcycle rider in the U.S. I've ridden them before. Over here, it doesn't really matter because they can't even read my U.S. license. They don't know the difference between the different types of license. I just fly, and it's not fly.
Well, living there, they don't make you get a license there, a Thai license.
Not around this area. If I went into the city, maybe they would realize. Like my wife said, don't worry about it. As soon as you lift your helmet, and they see you're a foreigner. They're going to tell you to go. They don't want to talk to you because they don't speak English. So I use it to my advantage, but I will now. I'm a homeowner and I'm married to a Thai citizen. So I'll be able to get my driver's license. And she goes, "All you got to do is go take the test." I was like, "Oh, shit." She goes, "But it's in English, but everything here's backwards."
What about the motorcycle? What about the motorcycle?
Fast lane? Yeah. The fast lane is the opposite of us.
The what?
The passing lane.
Oh, yeah. It's left side.
Everything's backwards. So it's hard to wrap your way around it. But, even though to me it's backwards, it's like, no matter where you go, you don't ever really cross traffic going the opposite way because everything's left. You never really have to cross to get into anything.
But the motorcycle endorsement is that separate there, like it is here?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so you'll have to get that too. Did it make you take a course?
Well, no. When I do it, I just take if you take it for the motorcycle, you get it for the car. But if you take it for the car, you got to take one separate for the motorcycle. I guess they figure motorcycle is more difficult than the car is. I don't know, but that's the way it goes. So I'm only going to take the motorcycle test. And then with that, I'll be licensed because that's it. I don't really know how it works.
Well, they think it's more difficult here too because you actually have to take and pass a 3-day, like how many hours is it? It comes out to like 3 days in the classroom, 3 days ridden. You actually have to pass a course here to get your motorcycle endorsement.
Good night, Charles. We might have to start talking about
Charles is saying good night to Jim. And we said
we
good night.
We might start taking. We might have to start talking about drones. We might be losing people. We got 4 viewers.
Oh well, it's 11 o'clock tonight. It's 4th of July.
Hey, I love my Air 2S. I saw that. I saw somebody had it for sale. It was Jake Flawless from Kentucky. He had his for sale for $600.
You shouldn't turn it on with your cover on your gimbal. You have your gimbal cover on.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I didn't mean when I took this off, it was tightened down on it. But yeah, he had it for sale for $600. I guess he needed the cash for it. And it evidently went really fast. I've seen a couple of deals on there. One guy popped up and somebody was complaining about how long it was taking them to get the Mini 3. And this guy said, "Hey, I've got a Mini 3 for sale." And when I clicked on his profile picture and looked, he had like 3 of the same pictures that were like posted 4 days ago. There was really no profile of who he was. I was like, I wouldn't be sending money to this guy for the Mini 3 because it'll take longer for you to get his than DJI's.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. Yeah, that's cheap for an Air 2S. 600.
Yeah, that's a good price. You know, honestly,
what came with it?
I'm sorry.
What came with it?
It came with the standard controller. I didn't look. I think it was the whole pack, but it was a standard controller for $600. And of course, he sold it quick at $600. I would buy an Air 2 if I knew who I was buying it from. I would still buy an Air 2, even though it's not Air 2S if the price was right. Because honestly, it's a damn good drone. It really is.
Yeah, of course it is. It absolutely is. That's what TJ flies.
Oh, TJ flies that? Air 2?
Yeah. Then he lost his Air 2 in the ocean. And then he found a good decent deal and he used another used Air 2.
Yeah.
But no, it's a great drone. So is a Mini 2 for that matter.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any more GPS drones. No more GPS drones for me for a while. They said that this new FPV was supposed to come out in July. And, you know, I could have gotten my Mini 3 early, but I wasn't willing to buy it just to have it before everybody else to show it that I got it because it doesn't benefit me. And I really didn't need the drone. Hold on.
Well, that new FPV is interesting.
Yeah.
It's tempting.
I hope the goggles work with some of the other stuff from DJI where I can use them. We don't know what they are yet, evidently, on what it's going to be. But
everybody talks like they know what it's going to do. Oh, it's got to. It does. No, it doesn't got to do shit. They're selling you a kit that works together and it works. Period. There's no promise that it's going to work with anything else. There's no.
Hell, if I was going to make a drone and release it next year, I would like put out some photos and then listen to what people are saying. I hope it's got this. I hope it's got this, and I would design it around that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if this company wants to create products that this kit is all this kit works with, and that's what it is, and take it or leave it, then you take it or leave it. You know what I mean? You can't get upset or angry because, well, that controller should work with the other ones, or that
I'm going to buy it. I mean, as soon as it's announced, and the dealer here has it, which would be nice 3 weeks early than the U.S., but as soon as it's released, I will run and get it right then because I don't have any yet. I don't have an FPV.
Here's how the smart money goes. They sell you the kit when it first comes out. It only works together. Then when the sales start dying off later on as the product's getting a little longer in the tooth, then they start making it compatible with other drones. Then now they're able people to get involved with the same kit for less money. You know, and
you have an FPV?
No. Well, yeah. I got a couple of little mini whoops and a.
I need to order the motors and everything and actually build and use my mini whoop frame that we're selling. Yep.
And I got some Fat Sharks. You know, but I don't know. I still haven't gotten any good at it. I haven't really spent the time doing it. And I don't know. I think I would probably enjoy, believe it or not, the DJI FPV more because you could fly it. you can actually fly it and then kind of wean yourself into the FPV part of it versus I have no control over this thing and it takes off on me because I have ham hands. And I know what to do too. I just turn the controllers down to 50%. Fly these little mini whoops I have. You can fly 1S or 2S. So you put a jumper on and you fly in 1S, and it's a little slower and easier to control. I just worked my way up. But again, all this takes time, and I just don't have it, you know. Whereas I can take my camera drones, my GPS drones, and just put them up and fly 'em, you know. And I've gotten
You
pretty.
did good. You did good tonight flying in the dark like that.
Oh, well, I've done
And
it before.
I always ask people, because you're flying at night and there's could possibly something that you don't see. What is your safe spot height wise?
What's my what?
Safe spot. When you fly, like here, it's 33 meters for me. If I'm at 33 meters, I'm above everything except for radio antennas, and I know what radio antennas are where I live.
There's it's about the same. There's trees in my neighborhood that are at least that high or close to that high. There are a lot of old trees in this town, but there's not a lot of tall buildings because it's Florida.
Right.
You know, the only tall buildings are along the coast at the condos. You know, not so much in inland. It's mostly ranches. So
When
yeah,
you flew
it's just tall power lines and old trees. So if I'm up
did you
80,
just
90
go
feet,
up and out?
what's that?
Did you just tonight when you flew? Did you just go up and out and back it back to you? Because you don't have a lot of light to see with. So,
well,
or did you look at
I know
control?
the neighborhoods. I live here,
Okay.
so I know where I'm going. But I use, even if I wasn't quite sure what it was, I just look at the indicator, and
Yeah.
I'm just comfortable doing it, And what's a meter? What's a meter with you? Anyway, it's trying to be funny because you're saying meters.
Chris says that he crashed the Tiny Hawk 3 and now it sucks.
No, it sucks.
It didn't suck before, did it, Chris? But now it sucks.
FPV sucks. Yeah,
That's funny because I told my wife, I said, honey, I want to get another drone. And she said, what is it? And I said, it's the FPV. And she goes, well, you should get it early so you can do a box opening and fly it. And I'm like, the box opening I can handle. The flying is going to be a different story because I've never flown the FPV. I've flown the sim before, but I've never flown the actual real one. Yep.
Still all busted up. Can you see how the cowling is all busted up?
Yep.
It works though. This is the one I flew into the embankment in Fort Lauderdale with Maddie, into the overpass. I mean, and it actually disconnected the VTX. I had to figure that out and solder that back on, and I did, and I didn't replace the cowling again because I figured I'd break it again. See, because this one is the one Doc Murdoch gave me. It's a nice, so it's Beta FPV. What the hell is it? To a Beta FPV. I forget what the model is, but he actually gave it to me. Just sent it to me. So I bought extra props. I bought this and that, and it flies pretty good. And it's just the pilot that's the problem. And then I ordered the Mobula 7.
Yeah.
And which is probably a little better, but I can't fly that one either. And actually, that one disappointed me because one of my motors went bad with it pretty early on. So I ordered. But he says all this stuff that you do, it's easy to do. It's easy to figure out. And those motors were, I don't know, $8 a piece or something ridiculous. I got them for like 4 of them for $30-something. And I replaced that. But now the PID's off on it. You'd have to get into it, I guess, to learn all that stuff. But if you do it to DJI, the new DJI one that's coming out, you don't need to learn a real lot, to tell you the truth, because it's going to be good to go right out of the box, already matched up, ready to just turn, run and fly. You're not going to.
What do you think it's going to be priced at? I've heard different.
Probably around the same as the other one. Everybody's going, it's got to be less. It has to be less. No, it doesn't have to be anything. It's going to be about the same.
What they want it to be?
Around $1,000 and $900. Because it's going to come with the goggles. It's going to come with the whole thing. It's like, oh, the other one's really expensive. No, it's not. $900, and you're getting $550.
The goggles, yeah, I agree with you there.
With it, and a controller, which is about $1.50. So you're at $600. You're at $700 already. So what? The drone cost you what? $300. So it's not expensive at all.
It would be great if the new goggles with this new drone would work with the regular FPV that they've got for DJI now, because later, as that price goes down, I may be willing to buy one of those, because I'd never really seen the FPV, and me and Al were flying one day, and he took off and went over the water and under this bridge, and the drone disappeared. And I was like, and we were in the city, and I was like, holy shit, what are you doing? And I noticed it went really quick. And he's like, no, no, no. I got penetration. I was like, be a little more specific. He's like, the FPV is not, you're not going to lose signal where the regular GPS drone does, going under stuff like that. And he didn't have any issues with it. So if that's the case with those new goggles, that'd be awesome because, man, I would like to have the old, the current FPV, but I'm not willing to buy it and buy those goggles for it at the same time.
Right. Moby 7 is bushings, not banks. Well, I doubt it. I don't know. I just think it was. I may have actually bent the it got beat on pretty hard because honestly, Mike, I didn't have it long enough to burn anything out. I didn't fly it enough for that. I mean, if you put all the time I put into it, there might be an hour on that thing, if that, 45 minutes, and then one of the motors just. And I may have bent the shaft in it, so doesn't matter. They're $8. I put another one in. Well, the 7 is 1S as well. The 7 is either one. I put a jumper on and just put one battery on it, and then it's 1S. So just slightly bigger.
Well, we'll see. That'd be great if it'd come in at about $1,000 with goggles.
In my living room. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said if it would be $1,000 for the new FPV drone. I mean, I would go 1,500 if I had to. I mean, I want it, but I just want to see what those goggles are going to be like. It's a big question, I think, for everybody that I've been reading about.
Yeah, it's cheaper. So it was a $120 thing. Yeah. Yep. Well, like I said, it's cheap to replace and easy to replace. Plug and play. Plugged it right into the F4 board and it was fine. Yep. But it's got a little wobble to it now. I got to adjust the PIDs on it. I don't know. But I haven't. In fact, since I built my new computer, I haven't even put any software on it yet. So I'll get around to it.
Yeah, but Night Train saying in here you can get into FPV for $500. My issue is getting them goggles.
Well, these are not those kind of goggles. These Fat Sharks are Attitude V5s. And how I got into this cheap was I bought these from Robinson, from one. What's he go by? I always forget him. Dustin's name is this
Third Eye View. Third Eye View
versus One Vision Aerial. See, they kind of confuse me.
No, Third Eye View is Robinson.
You're right. Robinson.
They were like brand new, weren't they? When you got them, they were like brand new.
Yeah, pretty much. He sold me these for $100, and
I bought my Air 2S from him.
And then
I bought my Mini 2 from him, or I think it was my Mini 1 from him.
And then he sold
me
this Tyrannus.
I bought 2 drones. Yep.
He sold me the Tyrannus here for $50. So
wow.
So that was a pretty good. That was a pretty cheap way to get in. And then Doc gave me some batteries, and some old ones. They're a little swollen. I bought some new ones since then. And that Beta, and then I bought a charger off of that Doc recommended off of Amazon.
I need to talk to Doc. I need Doc's mailing address. I think I've mailed some stuff to him to his old address, and I don't know that he'll get it. If anybody knows his address, text it to me. I've already sent him a message. And Bill, I need your shipping information too.
Okay, you have it. You
Welcome to OpenTX.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Switch warning.
I'll have to search through the chat.
I'll
have to search through the chat for your address. You sent it to me recently?
You sent me a shirt. You sent me that reflective.
Oh, I know. That don't mean I have it though. Hell, I never kept that. Now I have a database. I keep everybody in where I know their addresses.
Okay.
But just privately, or just send it through my Facebook later because I got some stuff that I'm sending your way.
Yeah, no, I know it was a good deal. Plus, those Attitude V5s were $300 when they were new, so $100 was good for that too. But anyway, it was all a good deal. Yep. I need to play with it some more. I'll be honest. I'm not using my camera drones nearly as much as I'd like to because of work and life, laziness.
Exactly. That's why I switch my live stream on World Drone to every 2 weeks. I mean, the sun's up, you got longer days, good weather, people are out doing stuff. It's inconvenience for us to have them come in the live streams, I think, every week. So I did every 2 week and I still had the same people, the same, nothing's really changed. And I have more news, more to fill the show with that.
You have the Attitude Fours, huh? And Orcas. I was reading Mike over here. Yep. And the DGF from the DGF FPV drone. Yeah.
Hey, it'd really be,
I'm tempted
really
to
funny.
get that because their kit's down to like $900, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying
It'd be really funny.
nothing.
If I did a giveaway right now to the people in the chat and gave them a drone.
What are you saying? To all the ones that left us?
Yeah, because there's only 3 people there. When they all found out that I did a giveaway and gave away a drone, they'd be mad as hell. And guess what? They would be on the next one for sure.
Live streams in the middle
Chris
of the day.
says the live stream's in the middle of the day, so people have to work, laughing out loud. That's the good thing about here. For me, I get up in the morning at 6. My live stream starts for World Drone Community, and dude, it's like perfect for me. And that's why I like visiting your live stream, Uncle Bill, because for me, I've already had my breakfast, fed the bird, relaxed, and it's my morning still when you have yours. So it's nice for me.
$1,000 for this kit. Maybe. There's so many maybes in my life. I was thinking I was going to get the Mini 3, but I don't think so now. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see.
I decided not to do it. There was so much hype to get it, but I think it was like the hype of who's going to get it first, who's going to, and honestly, you've seen it's died down.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a great little piece, and if money meant nothing to me, I'd buy it. But if I'm going to buy it, it's just going to sit. You know what I mean? I can only fly one drone at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, some of these guys they're no offense to all of you crazies out there, but you've got your wall, Mike, covered with drones. But I mean, it's your love, it's your hobby, and it's what you like to do. I'm not being critical.
It's like collecting cars or motorcycles.
Yeah.
In a lot of situations with these guys, my Air 2S and my Mavic 3, they do pretty much whatever I want them to do. I've not done anything with the minis, just for the fact that I fly in high wind areas. I got my first high wind warning about 2 weeks ago, and I was flying on the beach line near where we were out of town, and wind blew up within within 40 seconds. It went from no wind to like 35-mile-an-hour winds. And when I started to take it out, it said high wind warning, automatically. I'm going to rephrase the words here, but automatically, what am I looking for? Altitude is going down, and they're going to do it automatically for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said can't return to home, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? So I spun it around and came home. But for the Mavic 3 to do that, dude, it's got big motors, man. First time it's ever happened.
Chris said I hardly fly the Mini 1 or the Mini 2 anymore, and that's what's funny. I fly the Mini 2 just because I haven't flown this in a while. Let's take this one. You know what I mean? Not because I'm picking it over the other one for any particular reason, and they have about the same flight time. Just to fly it, just because I have it. I don't care which one I grab usually, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm going to get better video out of the Air 2S, so typically I'll take that if I care about. If I'm just flying for fun or doing a stream or something, it doesn't matter. But if I really want to fly if I'm going to fly somewhere and I care to keep the video, I'll take the Air 2S. And if I had the Mini 3, the video is supposed to be, it is going to be pretty good with that too. But now we've got 2 good GPS camera drones, but one's better in the wind. Well, then I'll take the one that's better in the wind, and I already own it. So
Yeah.
I don't see that. So if I was going to buy another new drone, and I've been procrastinating this for a long time, it might be the DJI FPV, and then I'll have the DJI digital goggles, and then maybe
Yeah.
I'll look into doing a real FPV. No offense, DJI, with a digital, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I do. But like I said, I'm in no rush. I'm not at my. I don't have to rush into anything like that because there's so many things in my life I'd like to spend money on right now. But I'm trying to
Yeah.
be a responsible human being. I'd like to get chrome forks in the front of my bike too. There's a lot of there's a lot of things I'd like to be doing. I could use a new trolling motor for my boat. It goes on and on and on and on. Where, I want a table saw.
I
So
know. I'm fixing to have to buy.
I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm going to start hitting up the hardware store next week because I need to buy a welder, chop saw, miter box, air compressor. Now I'm going to put some crown mold in this house, and it's got cement walls. And the crown mold that they had up here was this plastic crap. They physically drilled through it, put a molly in the cement, and put the damn screw through the board. So all you saw was da 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 with these screws going through the board. So I took them down, and I've never put up crown mold on a cement wall. And they were talking about taking like a 1x1 or a 1x1.5 wood strip and put it and nail it into the cement, and then put the crown mold over it and tack into that. And I was sitting here picturing me hitting a hammer, and I was like, new air compressor, new brat nailer.
Yeah, you could do that. There's also explosive the charges they actually have for concrete where it's actually like little bullets. There's actually a charge in it, and you bang the hammer down, and it's like you're shooting a bullet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm going to nail up the wood, nail up the strips around the outside, and then I want an air compressor because we need it for the kids' bikes, the motorcycles, the cars. So I'm going to buy air compressor, and then I'm going to buy the air tube and get a brat nailer because I can get it for like $50 or $60. And that way, when I'm putting up this crown mold by myself, I can use that nailer instead of having to manually use a damn hammer.
Okay, you're gonna shoot brads into concrete?
No, you can't get it in the concrete. So you take wood strips that are thicker, and you nail that into the concrete first. So you got something to hold to, and then you put your crown mold over and nail into it. And here, like you said with your garage, you're switching to that vinyl instead of that wood on the bottom of your garage.
Right.
All the crown mold here, you can't hardly find wood. It's all the white vinyl.
Have you thought of just using adhesive?
No, not in these houses. I'm not.
You can't use adhesive on your concrete?
We don't have insulation in these houses.
Yeah.
And we get enough heat coming in from the metal roofs that are on these houses that I want this stuff to look right and be on there. The adhesive, I don't think will hold it on there long enough.
Well, PL 600 will hold. You'll be able to hang them. All right. I mean, that's
how long does it take to dry?
Oh, they got different types, but I don't know. I would do some research into that. But I've used PL 600 and that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you better like it because you're never getting it off.
Yeah, it's strong, but I've used it before on some stuff in a car. But I like the idea of nailing the wood up here and just tacking it on there because with that, I can run my fiber optic lines and everything behind that crown mold. And when I nail it up there instantly, it's never coming down. So, plus I want the miter box to cut the 45s.
What, a miter box?
So I need all this stuff when the guys build the addition.
I'd like to have myself a nice little miter saw. You see, but this is what I do. I buy stuff for a particular project, and then I won't need it again for 6 years, or 3 years, whatever. So
well, we need it because I'm constantly paying someone to do something, and they don't have a tool, so they're doing it manual. And they're like, oh, I can do as good a job. But then when I look down on paper and realize what I'm paying them per hour, I'm like, you use my equipment. I provide everything. You just do the work. Right. So I'm putting up a 35 by 10 deck, 35 foot long by 10 foot wide. In one area, it's like 18 foot wide. And the guys are going to start in a couple of weeks. And I'm using 4x4 galvanized posts to hold it up, and then 3x3s to frame it around.
Right.
So I'm paying them guys to do that. And then me and my buddy that lives around the corner from the Philippines, we're going to put the composite deck boarding on ourselves. We don't need that to screw that into it. We can do that ourselves.
Yeah, I got stuff.
And then I got a place to fly my drone from. That'll put me about 12 to 13 foot off the ground. And I really pushed it when she said we could do a balcony. And I was like, man, I could get on my drone because their houses are a little close together here. And when you get too far out, the angle of the signal, the house gets in the way. But being up that high above all the houses, dude, I can like fly and fly because I want to fly over to a private school that we've got and show y'all what it looks like and circle it. It's huge.
That's why I got on my roof.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
That's one of the things I wanted to send you was a properly fitted shirt for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You saw that video. Like a highly reflective sausage.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, like I said, I'd like a table saw, but I've always liked the table saw. I had one of those things that you fold up and you attach a circular saw to the bottom. It did okay. But, that's long gone. I don't know what happened to that. And I don't think you can't even find them. They might have been dangerous or something because I don't think they make them anymore. But but I'd like to get myself a nice little table. So there's so many things, but I'll use it for this particular project. So I get nice, perfect straight cuts.
Yeah.
Then I'll put it away, and it might be another year before I need it again. And
I wanted to find my issue is
so many tools.
I'm cutting square tube metal. Yeah. So I need a chop saw. But on the other hand, I need a chop saw that'll do a 45.
Right.
But then I need a miter box to cut wood with that'll do a 45. So I considered getting one particular saw and doing a blade change on it.
Right.
But the thing is, because we don't have that much wood here that we use, but still there's a lot of plastic and the fake stuff they make that you cut. So yeah. So it'll cost me $150 for the DeWalt miter box. That's what it costs here. It's $150. The welder, exactly. The welder will cost.
I was waving to Justin.
Yeah, the welder will cost me. It's $220, or I could get a 110, $225 for the welder. I mean, dude, for $1,000, I can get like every tool that I need here, plus all the screw drills and stuff I want. So I'm just going to buy it all at once.
I've done very little welding in my life, but I wouldn't mind having one.
Yeah, I know.
I've already got the air conditioner.
I'm like you. I have to pick because there is some stuff I'd like to do to the motorcycle too. And then I wanted to get a mini drone because it's hard for me to carry my bag and my drone stuff on the motorcycle. And then I'm thinking I could buy the saddlebags, but I got to buy those metal hook things. You know what I'm talking about, that bolt on to the motorcycle.
Right.
And I've not found what I needed. I'm going to wait next week. When you get your visa here, they want you to have like so much money in the bank, and it has to stay in the bank 3 months before they check it to verify that you have the funds to live here.
Right.
And it's $400,000. They want to see that in there. It's expensive. And it's not like they take it, but you can't touch it. Well, my visa comes on July the 8th. So guess where I'm going after they stamp my visa? To the bank. Then I'm going shopping.
Hey, JP, what year bike do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
It's a oh God. I don't know. I would say it's probably 2017, 2018, something like that.
I mean, have you shopped like JP Cycles or Dennis Kirk?
Well, here's the issue. I don't want to buy anything from the U.S. and have it shipped here.
Well, because what you can do is you can find what you need on their sites, exactly what you need, and then purchase the same thing over there.
They've got a place like Amazon here that I can do. I just need to look up and see what it is. I keep thinking about like
you can get part numbers and like that, and they're shipping it from over your end of the world anyway. So you can probably find
your bike has got those hard saddle. No, they're not saddle. I guess you call them saddlebags still, even though they're hard.
They're still called saddlebags. Yeah.
So when she sits on the back, her legs go in front of those saddlebags, right?
Yeah.
Not around them.
Right.
So I just got it because there's different ones for this
so
one.
it's a
that I
long
can
bike.
get.
I mean, they're in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a tour pack behind the front seat.
So I would love to be able to get those and put them on the back where I could put my drone stuff in them and go. Because
Yeah, tour pack's
I
awesome.
really limit myself on travel because I got that thing around my neck like this when I'm trying to ride the motorcycle. I don't want that.
Plus she's little. She's only 5'1". So I actually put a Kuriak in there. I had to take my rear pegs off, and then they get attached behind the rear pegs, and they're pegs that swing up and back and lock in place for her to put her feet on. And that was pretty nice. There's all kinds of stuff you can get. But like I said, you go to like a Dennis Kirk or a JP Cycles and find the parts that you need, and then you could probably find it's probably the exact same part over there, so that you could purchase it locally. But at least you know what you're looking for. It might be easier to find since it's in English over here. Like you don't know what year your bike is.
No, but let me see because I got let's do a. Let me check here. It's a Honda Rebel 500. I think most of them are all the same size. Like here's a flare kit, just to give you an example. And I just sent it to you in your messenger. Oh, sorry. Click on that link. That's the company that I use. Do it in Chrome if you got it, so it'll translate it for you. But anything you want, you can get just about for these bikes. But if you look at this picture, look at his cell phone, the angle of his cell phone. I want one that sticks up taller that comes towards me where I can see the phone, because it's like, hell, you couldn't see that.
Right. Universal saddlebag support. There's all kinds of stuff. I put that Suzuki I had. I put saddlebags on that. That was just a bare bike, and I put saddlebags on that. It had a plan, but I put the backrest, sissy bar, whatever backrest on for my wife. She never really got on. Put a windscreen on it. Added all this stuff, And I got them through. Some of it was through Dennis Kirk, JP Cycles, and Amazon. I don't particularly trust Amazon because they sell shit. I got pegs to put on the front of the Harley, and the chrome didn't last on them. It just wasn't worth it. Kuryakin's a good product. Actually. Anything Kuryakin is good. But anyway.
Yeah, I definitely want to do the little monkey bar or whatever it is in the back. I want to do that, and then I want to be able to do the new seat that's one piece, and then do the saddlebags, and then do the cell phone USB plug. And I'm probably going to change my exhaust. I'm not happy with the way my exhaust is set up on there. It's got a little bit of rust. It's like a little piece of the paint chipped. And I think we talked before about sanding it, repainting it. I'm just not happy with it. The pipe from the motor under the bike out looks like it's starting to rust. So I want to switch to, they got that like the chrome type pipe. Yeah. I want to switch to that.
You want to switch to chrome? Yeah, you get blacked out, or you could take that off and have it sandblasted. They got all kinds of coatings they could put on.
My issue is here, Bill. Anything I want to have done like that, she's got to take me to get it done because I don't know anywhere around. I mean, the roads they're tricky here, and for me to ask her to do all that is like trying to say, hey, let's go shopping. I'm going to buy you some new shoes and a new purse. Okay. Oh, by the way, where we're out after I buy it, can we stop by here?
Well, I mean, or you could just sand the rust off yourself, coat it, paint it with engine paint, and then wrap it. You got exhaust wraps, like a black wrap.
Now the guy put on my crash bars on the bike, and he's like right out the entrance of where we live. It works on motorcycles, and when I took him, I said, change him. And I went back later that day and he had them all put on there, and he charged me $3. So I was like, okay, I'm your new customer. So I'm going to let him do everything. But right now it's the issue of, is she going to go crazy when I switch the stuff on the bike? It was my first gift. Don't make any changes.
Chris, we're listening to you. You said check out Viking bags. That
Yeah.
would be. See, he's crying. The neglect is real. Viking bags. I'm checking out Viking bags right now. I don't
Yeah, they're
need
crash
them.
bars. Crash bars at the bottom.
Viking bags. There. Wow, check out these Honda saddlebags. Look at that. Let's see. What do you ride? Shadow, VTX, Valkyrie. Nope. Rebel. There we go. Look at this. It's all laid out for you, Robbie. Exactly what you need. And it only costs you $600 to have them ship it to you. Let me see. Rebel 250, Rebel 300, 300. You got the 500 and the 500 ABS. Do you have ABS?
Hell, I don't know. I would say so. I would think yes.
You know what ABS is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you would know. Well, you can find out. You know what you do? Just slam the brakes on real hard on a gravelly road and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to find out. Top sellers. Nice looking. Very nice looking. I like them. And they come
I don't know if y'all met my friend before. Oh, it's Robbie number 2.
And they come with free hardware. Oh, here, Rob. You want to see them? Hold on.
Hold on, I got to get rid of my bird. I got to get rid of the bird here.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I thought he is not going to let me go, guys.
There it is.
Come here.
Right there. And it actually comes with a young tattooed woman.
Well, I did a second screen on here because I want to show you my bike.
Okay.
See if I can switch my camera around here.
These I'm not kidding. These are actually very good looking saddlebags.
May have to flip it around. So see, I got like a little rust spot here. I don't know if you can see it. So I want to change this. I want to change this pipe. And then I wanted to change these to red. And I want to get rid. These are separate, but they make one that's a double. A lot of people take this piece off and just have the bike. But I mean, I don't want water and everything else coming up. So I want to get the one single bike. And then see my tank. The tank is gray. And this is what holds my cell phone. Look how close it is to hitting. I want one that stands up more where I've got my camera like that.
I like that bike. That's a nice little bike. Wonder.
You know, that's really, so this is the license plate and this is the registration. It comes in this little tube the way they do it. But yeah, for $2,500, these are the crash bars I told you about that the guy put on.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about the one he used here that's going to rust because it's not the right type of bolt that he put in there. I need one that I know is not going to rust, but just little things, a little bit of rust there. I just want all this stuff fixed, and I want USB put up here so I have it. But yeah, it does. This does have ABS on it. But it's a really, really comfortable bike. So I bought her this as a scooter because she wanted something to drive over here to the market.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was on a Monday. But I told her it was too small for me and her because the weight. So this was my gift that she bought me.
What's the brand of that scooter?
This brand of the scooter is it's a Honda also.
Oh, Honda what?
It's a Honda Scoopy.
Huh. I don't know that's probably not available here. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So this is the front part of our house here. So this part right here will be changed in. This garage area here will be changed into a living room. And then we're going to take part of this wall down about here and take all this out. And see, we use water tanks here for backup water. So all of this is going to be removed to where it's connected to the house, off of the house. And we're going to put a huge deck over the top with steps to the right. So we had this new tank and some other stuff that the house we just moved out of, when we moved into it, it didn't actually have any water system for a backup in there. And I had bought it brand new and had it installed. So I wasn't just going to leave it there. So I took it with me. But this is the awning I was telling you guys about. It goes between. So this is where our road comes through here. So we're in the very end. So this big overhang is like, I don't know, 40 foot long by probably 35 foot wide. So that way it goes through both. And then we own this house also. So her mom lives here and it's just connected over. So I'm happy to be able to get this part taken off the house, because it's the reason I want to fly is what y'all see here, because y'all always hear me talk about the jungle. This is the jungle right here, literally.
Yep.
And this wall right here is 7-8 foot tall, the cement wall. And let me tell you, I've seen more Komodo dragons and snakes and other stuff physically climb this wall. And they do it over there in that corner because my mother-in-law's got a big fish tank with koi in there. And they come in there and try to get the fish. So these are all cement homes. Everything is cement here. It's like Florida probably. In Virginia, we use a lot of wood houses. But so I've got to take down this wall from here, 15 foot of it, that I've got to actually take out. So me and my buddy are going to bust it out. And then when we build on for the living room here, because we have steps coming out of the front of the house there, that's a lot of concrete to fill height-wise. So we're going to use it for filler on top of this. So we've got a lot of upcoming construction that we're going to be doing.
Yep. Make it your own.
Yeah. Okay, let me log off this and pick up my other end.
Lube the muffler Barry. Piston return springs. That's good. Yeah, pull up that. Put up that. I shared the page there.
Okay.
Really good looking.
There we go.
Really good looking bag. See, it's a leather.
Oh, cool. And send me that link too. I like that.
It's actually a really good looking setup. You can see here where it, comes out off of there, and it comes with the hardware kit to hang it. So it's all in one.
Cool.
Yeah, $300. Isn't bad. Yeah. Now they have more than one. Here, let me back it up, and I'll send you to. Yeah, shut up. Server error. My ass. There we go. Honda Rebel 500 ABS, and these are the different models they have. Because that's like the top notch one. This is a top seller because it's probably a little less money. It doesn't.
Yeah, if I can just get like
that nifty little tool bag on the side of it there.
Yeah, as long as I can get like my drones and one or both. I usually take both drones with me, so when I run out of batteries.
Well, they look like they're about the same. Oh no, this is $300 as well.
She and does that come with her or what?
I was just gonna say, I believe it comes with the girl with the tats. Yep. Yeah, she's a cutie. Okay, and what do we got over here? Are they all through? This server error. What the hell's wrong with this company? Yeah, this one's $10 less. So whatever. But I like the first one actually. Good looking set. Like I said, it comes. You know what I mean? You get everything you need. It's lockable. Yeah, I'll send you the link. Yeah, good call there, Chris. I put it in the private chat, Robert.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, send it to my regular Facebook Messenger because when we disconnect, I lose it out of my private chat.
Okay. Paste. There.
Yeah. So I have to buy this in pieces so she don't freak out. Okay, cool. I just saved it. I guess I could have done that out of my private chat. But
Don't want to work on your own stuff. Yeah.
yeah, the labor here is just so cheap to get stuff done.
Yeah.
That it's great just to drop it off to the guy and do it because they're not, here it's not like the US. They don't take advantage of
Now
it.
my saddlebags, like I said, I got the fiberglass saddlebags on that bike, and they're very roomy. But I keep stuff in there like rain gear, which I've never put on. Tools. I put some tools in there. I got the air pump in there for the shock. I have air shocks that you pump up and down. What the hell else I have? I got stuff in there, that I carry around that I very rarely go in there because the tour pack is just so much easier. I mean, it's right there up on top. Swing it open, and you could fit a ton of shit in there. They say it's a 20-pound limit. I know I put more than that in it.
How do you put a speaker on a bike? Where would you locate it? Where I could attach my phone in with it?
Well, it depends on the bike. I mean, don't forget, mine's got a big old cowling on mine, so I've got 2 speakers in there, and I've got 4 speakers. I got 2 speakers behind the rear seat. I mean, the rear seat actually has a nice padded backrest and armrest as well because of the tour. I mean, it's in front of the tour pack back there. But on your bike, it depends. I'm sure there's kits out there. Well, let's find out. Let's do some more searching. All this stuff's available. Whatever you want, you can get. Honda Rebel. Because obviously you're gonna have to install a radio, unless you don't want to install it, unless you just want an amp and be able to Bluetooth to it.
That's all I wanted to do because I just don't have the space. And I mean, like I run the cell phone on the left side, and on the right side I've got like a GoPro type mount that my Action 2 cam sits on, and I leave that on all the time. Not as much to record, but when people see that, they know that be careful around you because if they screw up, you got proof. It's every car here has got cameras in it for that reason.
Oh, this is
your word against theirs.
I just found something pretty cool right off the bat. Here's another one. Let's share this. Let me see. I gotta open it into a new window. Share. There you go. Put that one up.
That was funny. I had asked for Doc's address, and he just responded to me from where I talked to him earlier, or sent him a message. Oh, there we go.
Check that shit out. Yeah, click to the like. Look at that.
Look at that. Kickstart sound system. And Firehouse.
It's Bluetooth. 2 speakers, obviously here and here. You just attach it to your here and here to your bar.
My issue is my speedometer's there.
Well, who needs a speedometer?
Oh shit.
What the hell? You pay attention to a speedometer?
Hey, I'll get me one of those things the kids use that they put on the side of the trucks. It's got your air pressure, your boost, your RPM. You know what I'm talking about? That is cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that one's in the tank though. So that's
in the tank. Yeah. But well, where's yours? All right.
Mine is exactly. It's where the gooseneck is, where the screw goes down in to hold the forks on. It's right on the top of it. So I've got space on the left or the right. Like where the middle speaker is going to be where the speedometer is on mine.
All right. Well, see, but you see, you're trying to put your radio, your phone over there.
Yeah, if I could just do a Bluetooth that's loud enough to hear when I'm riding down the road, it would be nice. But I'll just have to do what I can do. I can find it if I search. but I'll
Yeah.
definitely need someone to put it in. I don't want to put anything on this bike myself. I don't
All
trust
right.
myself.
Well,
I don't
I
know
mean,
about it.
you're going to have to attach it to your handlebars somewhere or another, I'd imagine, so you can hear it. But here's a $119 Boss audio system, motorcycle speaker and amplifier sound system, Bluetooth, waterproof 3-inch speakers. I mean, if you really want speakers on your bike, let's share this one. I
Okay.
mean, these are all different ideas. I want to see your Honda Rebel. Exactly where that speedometer is.
It's right in the middle. That was my issue because I got my phone clamped on the other side, the left side of my speedometer, and on the right, like I said, I've got the GoPro mount. You want to add the stream back you just did?
Yeah, I mean, I'll show you what I found, but that's not what I was. Hold on a second. Let's see. That's something to think about. Here we go, like that. I'll just change this. Oh, what the fuck? Jesus, look how long that is.
Yeah, Justin made a good comment. He said get a Bluetooth helmet. My thing is I don't wear a helmet when I'm on the back road because the speed limit's like 25,
There you go.
and it's all bikes. There's very few trucks that go in the back.
So there you go. So you'd have to mount this somewhere.
Yeah,
This is your Bluetooth, and actually, looks like there's other ways to put music.
I could find a place for that. For the speakers is the issue.
Well, these you got clamps and you got speakers. You have to find a spot on your handlebars. I mean, I don't know where else you're going to put them.
Yeah,
They have to be facing towards you when you're riding, so you can hear them.
I saw a pretty cool back fender for the Rebel that you know how it's got the left and right signals on the back for your blinkers.
Yeah.
That comes off and it's a LED. It's a LED strip.
Mm-hmm.
It's built into the fender.
Mm-hmm.
So you just change the fender and it's got a slot in the middle. So half's left and half's right. It's really cool.
Well, since she's willing to get you another bike, why don't you just go buy a bagger? They'll have speakers and Bluetooth and all ready to go.
Because I'm always, but I figure out the dollar amount and then I'll say, hey, I want to buy this drone or buy this tool. And she'll say, but it costs as much. I was going to say, well, it's the same price as what that bike was. Because I still have to reason. Justin made a good comment about wearing a helmet. You're right. I should always wear a helmet. You're absolutely right. I should. But I'm guilty back here in the back. Nobody that rides a scooter or a motorcycle on these back roads. I very rarely see anybody with a helmet on. I always wear eye protection, which I got some high impact Ray-Bans that I wear because now and then I have had stuff come off the back of something and hit me. But when I get on the road where there's cars and trucks, I always wear my helmet. Always.
I very rarely wear my helmet, to be honest with you. So $2,500. A new Rebel 500 ABS is $6,900. So yeah, you did pretty good.
You had 1,000 miles on it when I bought it.
Well, good deal. Here's another one.
I don't know. Maybe I'll buy an Indian. Maybe I'll get me something different and get the Indian.
There you go. You can do that.
I'm sure it's going to cost more than the Honda, but
yeah,
I got to get all this.
It's going to cost you around 30. It's going to cost you close to $30,000. I mean, if you want to get a bagger,
yeah. I got to finish our construction first here and get that out of the way where I have more place to park it because I do like to park behind the gate. You never know. So that's kind of one of the only things that I'll do is I got my bikes, I got my drones, and then I bought 2 pallets of 3D printers for the office. That's what we've been printing off the whoops on.
There you go, Robbie. There's another one. This is Rockville Motorcycle Bluetooth audio system, handlebar system, whatever. You don't have to install that big ass thing. It's got this little guy here for receiving. You can do MP3, FM, and Bluetooth.
Oh,
So
cool.
you just this little thing here. You wouldn't need anybody to install this for you. Well, I mean, you got to find a power source, but again, that's not hard.
Yeah.
And then just find a spot on those
Hey,
handlebars.
you know, one thing that happened to me is I went out one day to fly, and I forgot to turn the key off the motorcycle. I left the headlight running. So when I came back 35 minutes later, the motorcycle wouldn't start. So I thought, not a problem. It didn't have a damn kickstart anywhere. It's all electric. I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
So luckily the girls that worked at the restaurant, their dad owned the restaurant and they had a bunch of guys working there. And I felt bad because the father pushed me all the way up to the damn road and I couldn't get it to jump over because I was dropping it in first and I should have been dropping it in second. And one of the kids ran out and he said, switch to second. And he pushed me like 10 foot and he got me started. And I was so happy that I gave him $30, which is their biggest bill here that I had. And then I felt bad because I didn't give the dad anything. And he's the one that did all the work. But I mean, we eat at his restaurant all the time. We tip the girls well. So he got the money back.
Let me see.
Yeah, I want to get a different truck and a ramp that I can actually load the motorcycle in. So when we take trips, I can take the motorcycle off and we can, ride the motorcycle on the beach roads instead of having to take the truck because my big truck is too big. It uses too much gas, although it's a diesel.
Yeah, well, diesel's more now here.
Oh yeah.
It's more than gas.
So I have to park it on the next road over because we don't have place to park it here. It's an F350, so it's a dually in the back. So I want to switch and get I want to get a Hilux regular pickup truck.
Toyota Hilux.
He said, FYI, Robbie, don't ever take advice from a diesel mechanic. They can't be trusted.
You know what Chris does for a living, right?
Diesel mechanic.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing that I never really paid attention to until I actually got my first diesel is when you go to put gas in your automobile, the nozzle on the fuel is a different size from regular gas than diesel. The hole's different. Yeah. I think on the tank of the automobile.
Yeah.
Or on the gas pump, one or the other, I forget. But I thought that
Diesel's
was a pretty
bigger.
cool idea. Yeah.
Can't fit it. Won't fit.
Won't fit in the hole.
But idiots will put gas in a diesel engine because that'll fit. Let's see. I mean, that bike in there, it's got I got cruise control and 80 watt per channel stereo system with 4 speakers. And
I just like to go.
CB radio built in. People make fun. It's like, you want to ride a bike. That's like a car. Yeah, but you're on a long trip. After a while, it gets a little boring.
Yeah, you're right. It took me a while when I first bought mine to ride it far enough to be uncomfortable to realize that it's not meant for hours and hours of riding on this style bike. Yours is different because it's more comfortable. So my ass got used to making, 15, 20-mile hike is about it for me as far as going out and then coming back. But I enjoy the bike. I mean, I'm alone. It gives me my time to just go out and explore on my own.
Yeah, maybe I'll take
it. You meet the nicest people on a Honda. Yeah, most of the people here are pretty cool. They're all laid back. Not really. I haven't run into very many people that have been aggressive or anything like that. Is it legal to ride a motorcycle with no helmet in Florida?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't get on the main road We had a guy about 2 weeks ago here, and in the mornings, all the parents get the kids on the scooter and they take them to school. And this one grandfather actually had his two grandchildren on the motorcycle, taking them to school. And a truck did what the truck thought was a wide turn and turned right into them. The kids fell off the motorcycle. The truck ran over the motorcycle and through the abdomen of the man, rolled over and killed him.
Yeah, well, I'm not all that smart. I almost never wear my helmet.
I do when I go, if I want to go to the subway, I got to get on the main road and do a U-turn and come back. I always wear it. And I never understood why people ride like on the curb. You'll see them riding in the wrong damn lane on the side roads. And I told my wife, I don't understand that. So I told her one day, today's project is to ride the subway and home. So I had to get on the main road, do a U-turn and come back through. And the roads are a little confusing where I had to come. And then after I got to the subway, when I hit my GPS to come home, I was like half a mile down one road that turned into my subdivision. And I was like, shit, now I understand why people drive that side road. They're avoiding all that traffic on the main road.
Just trying to do.
So, Bill, do you see any new drones in your future? And if so, they're going to be GPS or FPV or what?
I'm actually considering the. I don't know, I'd still considering getting the FPV, the Droid Cam port device IP. Hold on a second.
All the people that have bought this Mini 3 that are still waiting.
I kind of like the idea of the DJI FPV.
Yeah, there's a company here. They're on Facebook, and it's called DJI Store 13, and it's the local store here where I live. You can get right on their Facebook and order it right through them. They'll ship it straight to you, and you will get it, and you don't have to wait. I could have had the Mini 3. I could have had on November 17th.
That's Droid Cam. It's my phone.
Oh, okay.
Now,
what is Art doing on your screen?
he's on my desktop.
Art, are you awake? I didn't see you in the chat. Why is he not moving?
Communications, microphone.
Oh, it's your screensaver. I thought he was live.
See, now I'm using Droid Cam because I was going to go out to my my bike and show you the stereo and all that stuff, but you're not going to hear me.
It's okay. Just point.
Yeah, that defeats the purpose. I was going to turn it on.
Well, do this. You're on your computer on StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
Open it up on your cell phone. Click that link like I did, and just go in.
Yeah, I was going to do that. Yeah, but I thought
just put Uncle Bill number 2.
It's kind of cool. It works pretty neat. You know, hello. You know, but I bought it just to play with it. Voice meter default. Oh well. Let me look at the Droid Cam settings. Maybe I don't think audio is part of it. No, it's just so you can have an extra camera. See how terrible my desk is. Yeah, that's my desktop.
There's Bob Dempsey. Damn, he ain't got a picture of me nowhere. Look at that.
That's all of us after the fishing trip. But all right, let's go back. Let's shut this thing off.
Better take your smoker with you.
There we go. Stopped. StreamYard.
Chris, that Art is your screensaver.
All right, go back to that, and I'll just join out there so I can.
Okay.
I mean, I can show you what it's like. It's a totally different experience with the big bike. I mean, have you ever ridden a big bagger like that?
Nope.
It's easy.
I know it's heavy as hell.
Yeah, but you know, people worry about that, but you're not holding it. You're not carrying it. You know what I mean? You're not. If you if it's too heavy for you, you're not riding it right. You know. All right, here we go. Messenger. Let me see. Robbie Gray.
It looks like a retirement home. Here you are.
Here I am. What's up, girls?
Justin, I hope my delivery guy shows up today with my PLA, because I've got about 20 foot of material left on my clock I'm printing, and it's not done yet. So I'll need to do a swap when the guy gets here.
Almost forgot to bring my keys. If I don't have my keys within about 5-6 feet of the bike, when I turn it on, the alarm will go off. I got a passive alarm fob on here. Alexa, garage light on. Thank you. Do you ever thank Alexa? Can you hear me?
Say it again.
I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh. You couldn't hear me before?
I heard you say Alexa, but that's it.
I told her to put the garage light on, and I thanked her.
Did she respond?
No. All right. So here's the bike. This is what I was telling you before about the tank and all this. You have to take the seat off to get it. You know.
I don't have any of that in my tank. It's just a regular tank with a key.
Yeah.
But in
your tank, you probably have. I mean, inside here is where your fuel pump, your fuel filter. There's a basket there, a pickup.
Yeah.
The fuel gauge thing. There you go. This has got this locking system on here. Hey! Keys are right here, jackass. Right there. Stop it. All right. The alarm was. Battery must be dead. Well, that's the alarm. Why does it not see the?
Yeah, I don't want to put a radio on mine. I just want to put either, something Bluetooth where I can use my phone, because all the radio stations here, of course, they're not in English. There's one that I can probably pick up that's a good ways away. It's an American channel.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this has. This is a CD player. So this is 07. Right here is the CD player. You lift this little thing up here. They don't have them on them anymore. They're just Bluetooth. Now I have this set up so that I can see this little Bluetooth thingamajiggy.
Yeah.
This little Bluetooth thingamajiggy here, and I just plug it into my little auxiliary port over here, and then I have Bluetooth. It's as easy as that. Thing works quite well.
I wish I could get a radio with a cassette player. Then I could listen to all my old BG cassettes.
I just burn them to CD.
I'm messing with you.
And you got that. What's wrong with CD? Oh, you messing with me because I have CD player? I got Bluetooth.
No,
I got CD.
No,
I got FM.
We were laughing because my brother-in-law wanted to look at an old car one day, and my daughter looked and she said, "Damn, what is that little hole in there? Is it broken?" I said, "Donnie, that's a cassette." She goes, "What's a cassette?"
CD. You got weather band, and this also has it's actually got a CB you plug the CB right in here. It's actually got a CB
Wow.
built into it, so I could talk. This is for my phone here. You see, I got this Raptor. I remember I was telling you, like, cigarette lighter
Yeah.
underneath here. But you got all this. You got all these controls. You got electronic cruise. I mean, it's just nice having a bike like this, and the stereo is actually pretty decent.
It's nice having that everything in your panel there. And see,
Huh?
mine doesn't have that. They sell a panel like that goes on my bike. That and a radiator protector for the front that goes on it. But the reason at first I didn't want to do anything like that is because a lot of times we're in real narrow areas that I need to get the bike through, and hell, but I guess it would still be within the handlebar length, so it wouldn't matter.
It's no wider than the handlebars. See, right here's my padded. You know what I used to put these on here? A little trick. You don't use glue or anything like
Hairspray.
Hairspray. That's what I did, and it's years ago, and it's still on there. And
Yeah.
then no, the cowling isn't any. Actually, the handlebars are still about even, I guess. But there's where the speakers are.
Do you wear
Two
gloves
speakers
when
there,
you ride?
and then you turn around here, and you got the two speakers by the rear, rear seat here, and
Do
your
you wear
big edge.
gloves?
Plus, not only do I have the Ford pack, I put this on here too. So you could actually put shit on top of there if you want to. And
Do you wear gloves, Bill?
not usually, no. I live in Florida. Keep the bugs off, I guess. People do. They cut the fingertips off. But this is the kind of seat you're talking about. This is all one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. And I like it.
And then in here there's a steam split. I put the mount underneath there, and this is actually not Harley though. I have a Harley one that my dad gave me sitting on the shelf. This is Kuryakin. This is a Harley seat. This was an upgrade. I got the original on the shelf over there, but this is called the Harley Hammock, which is wider. And you can guess why I need wider, but it's much more. It's their widest seat, and it's called a hammock because it actually has basically a strap, a hammock underneath that keeps you off of the plate. You're actually suspended above the plate when you're on it, so it's a very comfortable seat, but clearly not comfortable enough because I went and got this natural. This is a sheepskin cover for that. And sheepskin will actually keep your butt cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. It's like magic. And then there's that. But anyway, that's the bike. It's got all kinds of little stuff. Shut up. He's right here, asshole. And when you're riding down the road and it's kind of stinky, you got to have this. You got one of these. I got. you have to have an air freshener. I got something else too. I got these marine bells, or these bells here. You ever see these little bells hanging from bikes?
Uh-huh.
That's for gremlins. Keeps away the gremlins. That's the bike. But anyway. So it's got all the conveniences except the AC. Well, it does have AC. That's camera. Alexa, garage light off.
Yeah, everybody likes a comfortable seat.
Well, and even comfortable seats after an hour or so starts to get on your nerves. That's why I put the sheepskin on. I have yet to actually use that on any long distance trip. But I used to have a fake sheepskin someone gave me. I threw it on there, and it did make a difference.
Yeah. They've got this one thing for people that ride a lot, talking about, let me let him get back to his screen here.
I can hear you. I'm right here.
Okay. They make this one thing that this guy advertises for people that ride motorcycles a lot that, it gets uncomfortable down there from sitting all the time.
Yeah,
so you have to, I sent you a video. I want you to share it.
You want me to share it?
Yeah, I want you to share it.
Why don't you share it?
You do better than I do. Yeah, well, because
What do you
when I share it, my screen's too wide.
Let me see.
Messenger.
Yeah, I'm
So if
there.
you ride a bike a lot, and your ass and everything else hurts, you can do what this guy is going to recommend.
All right, let's. Okay. Well, I told you how to do that with your wide screen. There's a way to do that. So that remember we did that the one day, and it didn't show the wide screen. It showed what you wanted it to show.
Yeah, but that was pulling it up from a file or something. I've just got a link itself. Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm. Hold on a second. I got to open it up into a new window. But when we did it right, we saw the. It was full screen and it looked good. All right. There it is.
Have you seen this guy before?
No.
Oh, you're missing out. This is Ginger Billy.
Yo, I just got me a new jacuzzi, but this ain't no regular jacuzzi. This is a testy jacuzzi. It is a jacuzzi made for a man's giblets. Now, as you can tell, this here is where the man will put his giblets. Now, to anybody out there who's only got like a giblet, you can still use this, okay? You still got a spot for you. You just lay it in one of these, okay? Now, this here is the headrest. This is where you lay your appendage while you're sticking your giblets in the jacuzzi. But I'm going to tell you, that's a good amount of space between the giblet jacuzzi and the headrest. So my worm is probably going to end up in the jacuzzi with my giblets. And they probably all three will be taking a dip. But I'm cool with that. I'm sure it'll still probably feel good. All right, so we all know the next step in this process is trying this thing out. So let's go dunk these donuts. So I had to lie to my 6-year-old son and tell him that this was a fist massager. So after I'm done dunking the donuts in this thing, I had to hide it. Because I don't want to walk in the bathroom and see him sticking his fist in something I've been teabagging. Let's put some water in this bad boy. Now, I'm going to use warm water because I just couldn't imagine dipping my junk in cold water. I think it would feel a lot better with some nice warm water on the old boys.
He could be kin to Jim Beauchard.
Is now turned on, and she's a puppet. All it needs now is the meat nuggets. All right, so y'all can hear that the test jacuzzi is on, and I'm now hovering over the test jacuzzi, waiting to drop my package in the water, which I will be doing in 3, 2, 1, dropping the giblets. It feels so good. It tickles. It feels like hundreds of little fairy hands massaging my plums all at the same time. Not gonna lie, this feels great. And you know what? You'll be pleased to know that my appendage actually did make it to the resting pad. Like the tip of it. Like it's barely hanging on, but it's there. Well, it was. Now it's in the water with my giblets. But it still feels really good. The giblets are very happy right now. Very happy. I'm definitely glad I used warm water. Fellas, I'm telling you right now, you need to get you one of these giblet jacuzzis. Just go in the bathroom, put you some nice warm water in this bad boy, turn it on, and have you a good time. The only thing I can compare this feeling to is that time my wife put water in her mouth and she started gargling as
He's got a lot of videos out, and he's got one where he built the ambulance, and the ambulance had inside all the stuff was made from like Jack Daniel's bottles, just everything about it. And the name of the ambulance was the Last Chance Ambulance Service. It's hilarious. He's a stand-up comedian.
You're ruining these beads. These beads are expensive beads. You know how much I paid for these?
Hold on, let me see what you're looking at now. Oh, I saw this already.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I thought she was going to have a wooden leg. I thought this cop.
It's one of those things that tries, you notice some of those videos, they try to keep you on for so many minutes, like pop the bubble to see the pregnant lady, and you fast forward like 6 minutes and he still hadn't popped the bubble. I don't like that crap.
I just that last one there. I thought the cop was going to feel guilty because he cut through her pants and it turned out she's a war vet with a wooden leg or something. Yeah, she's.
I thought when he felt something, it might have been something else, like a man and not a woman.
No, he could knock it. He was knocking on it. You could hear it was hard. Yeah, that's nothing. That's my leg. I don't know what you're talking about. You got this big thing taped around, and she's still denying that it's there. That was pretty funny. They make underwear.
Chris, we're not going to ask how you. We're not going to know how you know this, Chris.
Oh, he's not ashamed. He's got no shame. It has a rotary phone, but the new ones have it. So, what are you making fun of my CD player? Okay, I'll just rip it out because it's there. What the hell's wrong with you guys? You know how many MP3s you can fit on a CD? Plenty. Lots. Like a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to change channels when you're driving down the road.
Yeah, no, I make myself I got a great playlist on that thing. Did you hear what was playing?
Chris and Bill both, thank you for sharing the stuff about the bike. That gives me some better ideas to do.
Some ideas. You don't have to go crazy and design it yourself. Whatever you think you might want to do, somebody else has probably already thought of. It's like people don't know how to fix things on their PC or something's broken. They don't know how to repair. It's like whatever's happening to you, it's happened to many, many other people. So you're probably going to find a solution. All you got to do is go look. I mean, we're not original.
I'm just I'm a picky when I've got to build something like a motorcycle or car here, because if I have trouble, I got to call the wife to come get me. I don't have anybody else to call. I don't, they don't speak.
Well, saddlebags aren't going to get you stuck anywhere,
No. But hooking up that USB, I might short something out. I don't know.
Really?
Is it just a positive and a negative? Is that all it is on a USB?
Of course it is. It's just power. You're going to buy yourself, if you buy yourself a USB adapter kit, that's all it is. The ones that I have that are plugged into my cigarette lighter, it's just positive and negative. You got your hot center and your ground outer, and that's it. And then if you were to take my cigarette lighter out, that's all there is to that is a hot and a ground. That's all there is to it.
Well, I was thinking, some of them have lights, and if I plugged it directly in the battery when the motorcycle's off, it could drain the battery. So I probably should, or put it on the other side of the auxiliary or something.
Right, and an inline fuse. Right, again, but whatever line he taps into's already got a fuse. But if you want to add an extra inline fuse, it's always good to do. But everything is fused. You got you can if you want, you could just run a fresh line from your fuse box. You may even have a couple open spots there. If you want to go crazy, if you don't want to tap into any existing lines, you could just run a fresh one. When you take your seat off, run it up underneath there so you don't see it. Yeah, and you just twist ties and just run it unseen, the top of your frame underneath your tank to get it to where you want it to go. It's not rocket science. I
think under my seat. When I look under my seat, I think the battery's under there on my bike.
You might have some auxiliary connections on that bike too. Like even that bike I have in there, I've actually got a switch that does nothing because it's an auxiliary switch, and it goes to a modular, a plug-in spot underneath the seat that I could add more stuff that I don't necessarily have. I mean, I got tree lights on that thing, but that's got its own switch. But anyway, another place you could put, I don't know if I meant to mention when I was out there, I've got lowers. My crash bar has lowers attached to it. And what that is, that's the painted cowling that's down there in front of your legs. And those actually have storage space inside of them. And what they sell is, I can have 6 speakers if I want, because they'll have a speaker kit that fits into that down by your legs. But you've already put like a smaller, you could attach those speakers down there. I don't know how much room you have. I'd have to check out, make sure it doesn't interfere with.
Well, I had some thoughts about that sissy bar in the back, because you got speakers when you lift your sissy bar up. Yeah. Your speakers are on each side of that. I mean, I just have to look and see what my options are on that.
Well, there's back speakers. Yeah. I got front.
I mean, it's not a racing bike. It's more of not really even touring bike, but it's made more for cruising. That's it. It's not made for high speed. So I don't want to like try to make it a look like a racing motorcycle, but I don't want to beef it up so much it looks like I'm trying to build a touring bike out of it.
Yeah, you got to turn it into an old man bike.
Yeah, I just want something I can get on, dude. I just like getting on it and taking off.
But you can put speakers down by your legs too. If there's room down there, like those ones we were looking at that you attach to your handlebar, maybe you can attach them to your crash bar instead.
You know what? That you're right about that because the ones that you showed me, I could put them in there. It's not used for anything. It's right there, so it won't hit the forks as it turns.
Well, you got to take
be real
you got to
careful.
check it out and make sure it doesn't. Hit the
Yeah.
fork. What kind of windshield wipers does your bike have? Yeah, you're not funny at all, Justin. You're just not. And you think that they don't make those? That somebody doesn't make those? I do have a windshield on my bike. They sell them for helmets, for Christ's sakes. They got windshield wipers for your helmet.
You ever got hit by a bird when you're on your bike?
No.
Damn.
Very large bugs that felt like somebody shot me. But yeah, never.
I've had close calls with big birds flying because water's here and here, and it's a narrow road. It's just straight forever. Mm-hmm. I've had them fly through the trees and like freak out when they see me and barely miss me.
Well, they get confused with the sound. The Doppler.
They're not used to it. They fly. They fly right across there so quick and come out of the tree, and there I am. Squeegee.
I guarantee you, if I look, there'll be some aftermarket kit to put windshield wipers on.
I'm sure.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Said his is a leather glove.
Yeah. I look above my windshield. Actually, I don't look through it, so it would make no difference to me. That thing just keeps the wind off my face.
Well, guys, it's 11:32 here during the day. I'm gonna get on the bike, go down to the little restaurant around the corner, order me some shrimp and chicken, and eat and wait for my phone call from my delivery guy that's got my material. I was telling Justin, I'm really close to running out of this material right here for this clock I'm printing, and I'm only at 13%. So probably in the next couple of hours, it's going to run out. So I hope my delivery boy is not late because I need to splice in the new one so I don't stop the printer. Love my 3D printers.
Yeah, we were talking about all the things that I'd like to buy. That's another thing on the list. There's so many things that I'd like to spend my money on right now, and that's one of them. Is that one of the ones that you showed me from that one company with the dual?
Yeah, I bought two. I got 2 pallets of them. We got 4 of them running at the shop.
Yeah.
I've got another guy that works with me that's making the Cinewoops, and I got this one for home to make the originals and do the designing, and then from that, I email over the file to him, and he puts them in the machines. But eventually, we will have all the machines. We've got a total of 18 machines. We'll have 18 running when we're done.
But this is the model you told me about, right?
Yeah, this is it's a dual head. Yeah, the 10 log.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
I love it.
If I was going to do it, don't get me wrong. I'm sure like a $200 or $300 ender would be fine, but I'd rather spend a little more and get something where I may not need that size of one or a dual feed.
Here's the advantage with this.
Like having.
This is kind of like buying. When you buy a 3D printer, in a way, to people that print, it's kind of like going out and buying a Mini 1 right now.
Yeah.
You're going to fly it for 3 or 4 months and realize that you need to upgrade to the Mini 2 and you got to sell the Mini 1.
Right.
If you buy the smaller ones, which you're going to run into, and what I didn't think about when I first bought it, I thought, hey, I've just got the money, I'll buy it. So I bought the printer, got the book out, and bought like 16 colors. Well, I didn't realize that those 16 colors, there's different materials to get that color in. One of them is a hard material. One of them is a TPU, which is like what I made the keychains out of. They've got all different kind of materials. So my 16 rolls tripled right then. Then I was like, well, and then I bought ABS, which is what a lot of the car parts are made for in the cars. It can take really, really high heat. But here's the issue. When you put the ABS in these machines, it takes about 6 minutes, and the smell is overwhelming. It will give you the worst headache, worst hangover you ever had, it has to be in an enclosure and be vacuumed out. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But when you're buying a printer like this,
Good night, Sergio.
when
But
you're printing out
did-
carbon
but-
fiber,
yeah.
you have to have a printer that has got a higher temperature that'll go up high enough. Otherwise, you can't print out the carbon fiber.
Right.
So that's why I did this. Any material that's out there other than metals, this machine will print, and it's a dual head. So I don't necessarily need to, I won't stop it. When it gets about ready, it'll automatically, I'll put another roll of blue up. That extruder will move out of the way and the blue one will go in and finish off and put the letters in. I don't have to worry about changing materials on that.
Very cool. Aside from the fact that you could use 2 different colors if you wanted to.
Yeah, or I can use 2 different materials depending on,
or 2 different materials.
what the temperatures are.
But you've got did you get the covers for it for that situation with the?
Yeah, well, I've got a big, huge. It was actually a huge camera case that's got the thermostat in it. And at the other house, I hung it on the wall above this one, and then pulled all the lines down. And when I need one, I just pull it down, because what you'll run into with some of the materials is you'll get moisture in the material. When you get moisture, I'll give you an example. This is the orange.
Good night, Chris.
This particular orange that I got, which is I think probably an off-brand orange, once it gets exposed to the actual air, here we go. You can look at the line. I'm sure you can't see it through the camera, but it's kind of a transparent. You can look through the line and you'll see white dots.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see them?
Yeah, you can see it. Yep.
Those areas that are there, they break.
Mm.
So, the rest of it is not. Some of it is, some of it's not. So it's real important that you try to keep all the air away from it as you can. Now I can take this, even though it's got the white dots in it, and I can put it in my camera case, which has got the thermostat in it, and I can turn the heat up. I can pull the moisture out of this, a lot of it with my case. Those white dots go away. But otherwise, some materials, and these are PLAs, you don't really have the problem with TPUs like that, because the difference between this being a hard material compared to these are TPUs. So you make keychains and stuff like that out of this. It's flexible.
Right.
The other material is not like that. So this one, you don't really have to worry about the moisture because it doesn't really affect it. But the TPU and the ABS, and if you're going to run an ABS on a printer, get a good printer, because I'm telling you guys, even with these higher end printers, ABS is like, you'll get cracking, separation, all kinds of stuff with ABS. I don't really see that I'm going to really print anything out with ABS. I've actually got a bunch of material that I should probably sell just to save space. So, yeah, Night Train said he stores his in the open. If you're in an area where you're in a really, really controlled temperature, you can do that. But out of all the materials and stuff that I've used, for me, so far, this has been the best company to buy filament, eSun filament. It's like, I'm telling you, compared to the standard filaments that I've used when I print like my clocks and stuff, you don't get a good, this is printed with a not so perfect filament. And if you'll look, you'll see some rough areas here.
Mm.
You can see a little bit of color change in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, well, this E material is what I'm running these new clocks on. Dude, it's like silk. It's like matte finish, nothing perfect. And it's the quality of the material. So if you'll keep your materials dry when you print, they print so much easier. You don't have issue. I've got a white that, oh my God, it's a bitch. Because after you print with it, you cut your printer off and turn your printer back on, the shit that's in the tube inside the actual unit itself, it's stuck. I've had to take the printer head off twice and clean it out. And it's just a headache. And then you've got silk materials that are PLAs that are like, this is a perfect print. This is, I don't know, 10.5 inches tall, and you can see the detail.
Very nice.
And it's, I mean, just absolutely perfect. So it's all in the material and the printer that you use. Yeah, it's not cost effective for you, but I get it for like $12, $13 a roll because it's made here. That's the difference.
What's the brand of that printer again?
This one is a 10 log. It'll be $560. You'll pay $560 on Amazon.
No, I was on the site. 10 log.
Yeah.
Right. It's been a while, and
I saw a really cool one, guys. It's
TLD
like
TLD3 Pro, right?
no 10 log, TEN LOG.
No, I'm on the site.
Oh, okay.
I was the model.
Yeah, it's the TL D3 Pro.
That's what I just said. Silly guy.
Yeah, it's higher in the US. Yeah, it's 35 a row. It's higher. The company that I get the stuff through, a company here, it's called, let me pull it up here. I'll show you all this material. Actually, I think I can, I'm going to try to show this. Hold on, let me open up a new window first. See if I can find the, I saw a new color in here that I wanted to buy. I'm thinking about buying a roll and doing something for Quad Mafia's got that green logo. And when I saw this particular color, if I can find it here in a second, I'll show it to you. It would be really cool to try out on that. Okay, I can probably, let me see. I'm gonna try to share this, Bill. We go to my share button here. I'm gonna have to share a screen here. Share. What did I do where y'all would see this again last time, Bill?
You got to share window. Share screen. Go share screen. Go to window.
Okay, hold on.
Do it over. Do over. Okay, you go share.
Okay. All it says is share. Oh, window. Thank you. Okay, window.
Pick the one.
Yeah, but it's just showing me the StreamYard one again.
Did you select? Oh, that's because here. That's because you got to open it up into a new window. Okay. It's a tab. You're a tab on the same Chrome browser.
Oh, Chrome tab. There we go.
Yeah,
okay, perfect.
You want a separate window. It's still showing your whole window. Still showing the whole window. We solved this the last time. Window.
Well, you can see it good enough on the colors, right?
Yeah.
Let me find the color here and I'll show you. Yeah, this company's got like some really, really good materials in here. I saw green.
Did you do Chrome tab?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wanted you to do window. But that's all right.
Here it is here. Check out that color. Can y'all see it?
Yeah. It's very small because of the
So
width years.
see, it's but you can tell it's green, and it's called Galaxy Black with E stars. It's PLA. So it's a green and black mixture.
Mm-hmm.
But if you'll look at that and then look at Quad Mafia's logo with the green, dude, that would make like a killer logo in clock with this color. And this is a custom color, so the translation and the money for this is $22.
Hmm.
It's a custom color.
That's cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I wish I could find a way to get material home cheaper. You know, I guess I could buy a pallet of it and ship it the slow boat and get it. But if I bought more, I could get it even cheaper. I could get it for $10 a roll. Hell, I could resell it and probably pay my shipping cost on that. Okay, well, look, Bill, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta go get something to eat. I'm hungry. I gotta get back and take a nap. Take a nap.
Okay.
Today's not gonna be one of my work days.
Go
I
ride
hope
your
y'all
bike.
enjoy your 4th, and I appreciate y'all coming on with me. This is really the first time I've used StreamYard on Travel Tech, other than I think a quick test I did one time. So I'm glad to know everything works okay and all that other stuff. So, and any of y'all that haven't got your keychains, if you're not ordered them, y'all need to get one, and it helps all of us in the long run to get traffic to our sites. And Bill, we're gonna set you up. We're gonna get you a page up. So you need a social page. You may not use it now, but you'll wanna get it later.
Okay.
So
No,
we'll get.
I think it's a great idea, actually. I'm all for it. Let me see. I'm
Okay.
just looking through our messages here to see if, because I got you my address somehow. No, it's not in here.
Just send it. Just send it through.
I know. I'm looking. Robbie Gray.
I got your YouTube channel. Your any other social medias that you have that you use, anything, Instagram or anything that you have, drop the link in there for me when you send me that message so I'll have it. Because I'm going to send another box out Thursday full of stuff, and I'm going to throw a couple of keychains in there for you. And I want to have them pre-programmed with your channel on it. That way, as you do the channel and we get it up, you've already got your keychains.
Okay. Yes.
I got to go to the dentist today at 6 o'clock. I asked my wife, is that 6 in the morning or 6 at night? She goes, who's ever heard of a dentist appointment at 6 in the morning? I was like, honey, I've never heard of a dentist appointment at 6 o'clock at night.
What's the address?
Okay, perfect.
You should be able to find my Facebook page. We're on Messenger together, but.
Well, I got Facebook and I got YouTube, but do you have Instagram or anything else?
Yeah, don't really use it, but I have it. Yeah.
I know, but send it because we want you to be able to use it, guys. So many people don't get benefits because they don't use Instagram, dude. It's like anytime I post or ask somebody to join, dude, it always helps.
Everything helps. Doesn't make me want to use it.
Well, I know, but it's funny because there'll be a point.
I mean, it's just silly. I've got 7 posts and 555 followers allegedly, and
Look,
I don't even do it. It's such horseshit.
I started mine under a year and a half ago, and me and Al went rounds and rounds. Al Duran about he didn't think we'd get any traffic from him. He didn't think he'd get any traffic, and I started pushing mine.
I didn't say that. I
think Al, last time I looked, Al had 135 subscribers. I've had mine for under a year and a half. I'm over 20 grand on mine. I got over 20,000 followers. But keep in mind, I use it.
You know, I'm Bill.Ronayne. I mean, it's not really even. useful.
Doesn't matter. We'll fix all that.
Yeah. I do you understand? I'm already more connected than I want to be. But okay, hold on a second. I mean,
Oh, you got to let it work for you. Set it up where it does it for you. I actually have a program that my office uses when we do it for companies, and we can put like freaking 50 posts in there and date them and time them, and it looks like somebody's posting, and it's not. It's the machine doing the work. And I love it when their companies have got a lot of products, because my guys can do 50 posts. Hell, it lasts them just about all month, and we don't have to do any work for the customer. It's a one-day job, and that's it. And then the rest of the days in the month, we're doing it for other companies.
I mean, that's who I am on Instagram. Can you find me with that?
Yep. Don't worry, I'll find you. I have my ways.
Well, that's my username. But let's see.
Did you take that shot of that screensaver behind you?
Yeah, last 4th of July.
How did you time it with that lightning in it?
That's just a frame out of a video.
It looked just like it. Yeah, that's cool.
I got a ton of them. I got like it was a nonstop storm going on during the fireworks last year, and I flew the air.
I've only got it one time, and I got it better in the image because the color shows it. The video didn't show it very well, but I've only had one lightning in there. So, okay, guys, I got to run. I got to get in here and get some meat. I'm getting edgy.
I didn't even do anything to that. I just pulled the frame out and used it. But I got a bunch of really nice shots. I could probably work on the color, but those clouds and all that, it went on for 45 minutes an hour. Just so there, I got a shitload of pretty cool lightning shots and cloud lightings. You're on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Are we following each other? I don't know.
Probably not.
Let me find you.
Travel Tech 360.
Oh, here's Half Naked Girls. What a surprise. Okay. Robbie Gray.
No, Travel Tech 360.
Travel Tech. I have to rename my
TECH.
Travel Tech. There you are. There's a Travel Tech 779.
No, I'm 360.
I know.
All the way around, baby.
I know. Oh, it says you are following me.
Well, okay, I'm following you then.
I'm going to follow you back. So you'll get a message that somebody followed you, but that I followed you back. So you'll be able to find me. So there you go. What are you doing with that toilet paper?
I have to keep it on my desk because now and then my bird will make a mess if he gets off of it. He gets on the desk.
You got a bucket under that chair, do you? All right, I'm gonna go. I'll let
shot glass, maybe.
Yeah, I'll let you go. Thanks for having me in.
Okay. See you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with us. See you.
Almost 3 hours. All right, take care, Rob.